Okay.
I gotta change my background still. Jeez, I'm still in cyberpunk mode.
What is S influencer? Just
It's JD.
Twitch Prime.
That's me.
Oh, I thought you already did that.
That's I resubscribed.
Oh, it was a read
monthly.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Twitch.
Yeah.
I mean the Prime.
Prime. Yep.
It's all Twitch. I know what streaming means.
It wasn't until I made affiliate when I learned that Amazon owns Twitch.
Oh yeah, that's why we get the nice Prime things.
I had no idea. I thought it was just some deal they had, like a corporate deal. I had no idea.
They sold for like $1 billion.
It was a lot.
Not that long ago either. Like what? 2 years ago?
Yeah, not that long. A few years.
By the way.
So,
So
Look
cute.
at that. I will be right
Does
back.
it glow in the dark?
oh, that's awesome. He's got a little plushy scythe.
I had to
Oh.
like, work at the ear holes as well.
Oh wow. Oh.
All
Full
right.
head glow or is it the eyes?
It's the eyes and the skeleton.
Oh, and the
body,
bones. Oh.
and his tail and his arms and such.
Oh. Cute.
This feels really weird doing this at not 7 o'clock at night.
Right? Welcome to the living, Colin. So,
Insinuating that my former Irish brethren are not living.
let's see. So we can actually tell it's been 111 days and 20 hours since we last played.
Wow.
Gonna have
Wow.
some mean frog.
And
I did watch like the last half hour of the previous recording, and I also got T to send over some photos of like the last 2 sessions of our notes, which are amazing, by the way. I do think, T, that at some point you should literally just transcribe all that into like a book, like an
I still
actual
need to-
book.
I still need to type up book 2. And I just didn't do it yet. So the entire time that we've not played, I have not looked at my other notes. So, apologies.
It's all good. So, let's dive right in. I mean, a really high-level story from what I remember is you... I don't even remember why you went to Chult. I believe it was because you're after the Ring of Winter.
The ring of the accessory of a particular season.
That's right.
Let's start the session off right.
And
Nice. Artis Simber.
after spending some time in Port Nyanzaru to just learn about the culture, tame some dinosaurs or purchase some dinosaurs, race some dinosaurs, you kind of traipsed all around the jungles in various places, and eventually arrived at this entrance to a tomb of the 9 gods. And you just made yourself into like the first layer, the first level of this tomb, of this dungeon, and explored around a bit, ran into several traps. Gelrin was possessed by some sort of a spirit. Do you remember the name of it?
Hold on. You sent it to me in a private message.
Yeah, I actually scrolled back up to see, because I had to look it up too.
Let me look. Obolaka?
Yes.
Obolaka?
Yeah. And I believe the other person that was inhabited by some sort of spirit was Valdemar, right? Do you remember who that was?
Began with an M, I think. Mobiak or Mobako?
Moa. Just Moa.
Moa.
Yeah.
Moa.
We can actually talk to the one that possessed you. Mine can't speak to any of you, or you can't speak to it directly.
Yeah, so the one thing that I want to point out, I gave this some thought over the last 112 days or so, is that these possessions are not bad things. You shouldn't be afraid of them. They will come in more valuable than you might think.
Should-
The Pope requests your location.
I find it funny. He says that you shouldn't be afraid of him. It's like, well, what's the catch? He made me afraid of everything.
Now, come on, Colin. In all fairness, Gelrin is pretty much afraid of everything.
Please.
Please.
I'm not saying there's not a catch, but you don't have to be frightened of the idea of being possessed by what is really the spirit of a god, a trickster god. So it's not a bad thing. We left off the last session inside of a tomb where you solved a fairly dangerous puzzle involving 3 chests that you had to lock from the inside. I believe Valdemar was nearly frozen to death. Scraps lost all of her metal items because they all rusted immediately. And I actually think I went in yesterday. So one of the changes that has happened in Foundry, in the virtual tabletop here, is that weapons that use ammunition, like bows that use arrows, actually track them now, and you can set which type of arrow you have loaded, so to speak. And I went through this and I was like, oh, Scraps has no arrows. That's got to be a bug. And I was like, no, actually it's not, because when I watched the VOD, I was like, oh yeah, that's right, you have a bunch of sticks now because the arrowhead's all rusted off. So technically, you have no arrows.
I have sticks.
Yes.
That's all I have.
So if at some point
Pointy bit.
I tried to load all your various bows and crossbows with appropriate ammunition, but if you end up rolling it at some point, it will tell you like this requires ammunition and nothing is specified. Then we'll deal with it then. But anyways,
Does that mean we have to keep track of arrows anymore, or?
no, because it will actually use them up. I think you shoot, it will use them up. So at least I think so. I haven't tested it, but it should work like that. So you don't have to manually maintain them anymore. And also the arrows now show up under, let me look at Silver, who's got a bunch of different ones. In the inventory, they show up under consumables now.
Okay.
So they're no longer, I think before they were in weapons, they're under consumables now. And the nice thing is, for example, like your cold-tipped arrows that does extra damage, like if you load that into the bow, it will roll that for you when you attack with it. So, less thinking for us to do.
This session has not been good for me. I've had my thieves' tools break on me. I've had all my metal items just rust. You know?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm almost dead.
I was going to
died
say
in
yes,
mine.
because you were in the 3rd chest, and it applied like 56 points of force damage to you, so you almost got blown to pieces. But in the end, you did open the last tomb, and this mummy came out, and just as you were about to potentially gain whatever godly spirit possessed it, offering itself to one of you, the whole room sort of started to freeze over from the sides. And the last thing you saw as ice slowly covered your face was Artis walking in and taking not just this spirit, but also some sort of a mace from this mummy. And then everything, like you can still see at this point, but you're frozen. And it's kind of a weird sensation because you're frozen in time, like you're not feeling time really go by. You're not getting hungry or anything, but that's where we will pick it up again. And I've revealed the whole map for you now because you've actually explored everything on this level. So you should be able to see like the entire map if you want to. But you've been everywhere on this level, I think. I'm quite sure.
Yeah,
We have. Yeah.
I can see all the dead bodies.
Yeah. So...
Yeah. Oh, Buddy down here is still on fire.
That's right. Yeah. Do you remember I did it to keep him warm? He keeps cold.
Yeah, that's right.
as you watch Artis leave this chamber and disappear from sight,
Hey, come back.
you're all stuck in this Like you're frozen over. You can see, and I guess you can move your eyes a little bit from left to right inside this cocoon of ice. But you're not able to move. Nothing's happening. You're spectators in time. And day comes, night comes, day goes, night goes. It just seems to drag on forever. Galvin, you're pretty sure you can feel your beard growing at this point. Like, that's how long things are taking. At various points... Oh,
Really bad time not to pick up Morse code through Windows.
At what seems like, who knows, like time has sort of lost all meaning. You don't know how long it's been, but this ice does not seem to be melting anytime soon. At one point, you notice this dwarf enter the chamber with a large broom. He's got like a big battle axe on his back. And he looks a little bit like, looks like this.
Oh, Jesus.
But he's dwarven sized. You know, he's not that tall.
He's not one of mine.
And he
Not one of my
just
kin.
he just wanders in, completely ignoring you, and starts tidying up this dead mummy body on the floor. Like he starts sweeping up, he starts moving bones and guts and stuff into like this bag and slings it over his shoulder and leaves again.
Val is going to think back and remember how Sansa used to cast Burning Hands. And he is going to try to cast Burning Hands.
Wait, your Agni fists are already fired, though.
You concentrate.
Put those out.
Oh,
You,
yeah.
you concentrate really hard, but nothing happens. Yeah.
Okay. Now can I do the Kill Bill, the one, the
The
one
one-inch
punch
punch.
technique? Yeah. Where I could try to like break a hand free.
No,
Damn it.
you're
I got a lot of ideas.
still encased in ice.
Can I try?
Watching this last night. Those were my two ideas. Cast Burning Hands, do the one punch technique.
Can
Can I try?
swear
Can I try
so much?
breathing on it? Like.
Can I swear so much that it just starts melting, guys?
Oh, jeez.
Can I cast anything?
You can't move. Like, you can barely move your eyeballs a little bit from left to right. You're literally, it's like you're watching TV. Like, you're inside, so you don't really perceive day and night. But this tomb dwarf that came in and cleaned up, like, it seems like he comes by on a regular basis, and it seems like it must be hours, maybe days in between. And you're just stuck there. It's as if
And
the whole world has paused and you're just for you, you're sitting there. Life goes on elsewhere. Cyberpunk games are happening, but you're just stuck in place, waiting.
What?
can I try rocking back and forth to where I can like tip over and shatter the ice?
At some point, you feel like you actually fall over, but then it just becomes like this lucid dream, like where you're not sleeping, you're awake, you're in this trance, basically.
We can't do any magic. We can't use a cantrip or anything, no?
No,
Oh, who can we call on? Actually, hang on. What happened to
Can't
River
even
and
cast
Flask?
Misty Step out of it. That's dumb.
What happened to River and Flask? Are they frozen as well, or?
No, they didn't come in with us.
they didn't come in with you.
I bet you they freaking left.
Without getting paid. Well,
Not if they left.
They didn't.
What about, can I call on Moa to help?
You think you have conversations with this, but you don't get any real response or nothing's happening.
Oh, what a loser.
At some point, which feels like tens and tens of days have passed,
He was gonna be so pissed.
a creature enters the room that you haven't seen before.
Oh no.
And
Fire-breathing dragon.
it's this large tall
It's my boy, the bronze dragon.
creature that carries a staff, has some sort of a sphere-like talisman around his neck. And he doesn't pay you any mind at all. Looks like this.
Oh my god.
I wouldn't want to get his attention anyway.
And
He looks like Arthur Brown.
he walks in and kind of surveys the room. And as you're in your frozen cocoons, he steps up to each of you and like peers deep through the eyes. It's through the ice into your eyes. And
Look, champ.
he looks
Got no
at
eyes.
Sansa, and then he goes and looks at Gelrin, looks at Scraps, Silver, and Valdemar, and eventually comes to Greenbone. And lingers there. And you perceive him make the ever so slight motion with his fingers, like he just turns his hand a little bit. And Greenbone melts. And both of them walk out of the room together.
No.
What?
You son of a bitch bastard.
And the one thing that you notice is that Greenbone seems to just follow him willingly. Doesn't say anything, doesn't even look at any of you. Just walks out with him, behind him.
Yo, Obo. Any words?
Oh, my camera's all fucked.
Can you tell me how long we've been here? Anything?
We can't even like vocalize anything, like a mumble or a grunt.
I don't know what's wrong with your camera, Dusty, on the...
Yeah, I don't know.
It's only on-
I just saw it.
It's only on
Only on
OBS.
Twitch. I think it looks fine on OBS.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
fine on OBS, but on Twitch it's all sorts of.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Nick looks crazy.
He's cosplaying as a
That's a glitch.
as a painting.
It's fine now. I just refreshed the scene. It was weird. Anyways, no. So, like, you're stuck there, and then more time passes. Days, maybe a month.
Seasons change, time passes
Perhaps.
by. As the days become, what is it? As the weeks become the months, become the years.
And then suddenly, well, suddenly is sort of a harsh term because it feels like it has been forever. You notice that you're able to shift your bodies a little bit. Like the ice is starting to melt ever so slightly. And over the next few... Yeah, you keep wanting to rock back and forth. You keep trying to heat your bodies up with whatever magical powers you have. You do whatever it takes. None of it actually seems to have really any impact. But over the next few days, the ice slowly recedes until at some point it just melts off of you.
Whoa.
And you all find that you're very tired, extremely hungry and thirsty. And those of you with, whether it's beards or long hair, like all the stuff has continued growing inside the ice. Like Gelrin's beard is like halfway down to his knees at this point.
Wow.
Oh dear. This is magnificent. I can be royalty.
Is Sansa still Sam and is Val still Valerie?
Oh, right.
There was no physical alter. There was no, like, their appearance hadn't changed, right? So, I think
Still a
so.
bro, still a dudette. All right.
To you, Scraps, there's no reason to think otherwise.
Can we move?
Yeah.
I just want to take.
I'm gonna start stretching.
I'm going to move over here next to Gelrin, and I'm going to hand Gelrin a potion of greater healing. Because you look weak.
I am very weak. I am very crushed. I appreciate that. Just what did you roll it?
No, because if I roll it, it'll give it to me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I wanna-
true.
I
Yeah.
want to give it to you. It's 44 plus 4.
So 48
No, 44
plus 4.
plus 4.
Yeah, 48.
No, 4, the letter D, 4.
Oh.
4 dice 4 plus 8.
To be fair, I thought the exact same thing. I was just like, why won't he just say 48? Like,
44 plus 8. Got it. All right, hold on.
Jeez, it's been a long time for us, hasn't it?
No, 4d4.
So
plus
in this
4.
game, we roll these things called dice.
It's been so long. Hold on, 44.
By the way, I have a whole drawer now in my new desk that's just D&D stuff, like all the figures and dice and books and.
So 15. I thank you for the health.
Yeah. All right, Chuck, I deleted one of the potions off my list.
Okay.
I say, we get the fuck out of here. And
What about Greenbone?
What about Greenbone? He didn't even look at us.
We
That's
have to
something-
find Greedbode.
he's been possessed before. Like, I
That's I like how you're like, oh, he's been possessed before. He's okay. Like, remember,
I'm
this thing
still-
kind of happens every day.
I'm still on the team that we should get out of here. This place is not good. I don't know how long I've been here, but based on my beard growth, it has to be somewhere in the realm of a month.
So, as you're trying to get your wits about you, and you're having these conversations, you notice coming down the hall this skeleton, and it has a very it looks like a regular. You've encountered plenty of skeletons before, so it looks like a regular skeleton. But what's weird is on top of its skull is this weird shape extending out of it in the shape of a triangle. Sort of like this gives you some idea.
Oh no.
And as soon as it gets, within eyesight of Valdemar, who's closest to the hallway, you can see it's like it doesn't have eyes, so its eyes can't really like open wider. But if you could, and it turns around and books it down the hallway.
Can I chase?
You can.
Did they turn the blade off?
The blade is still off. It's because you guys broke it, more or less, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
yeah.
You did some weird shit to it. It's pretty much broken. You can see, though, like, if you were to look at it, you'd notice that it looks like it has been attempted to be repaired somehow.
Erupting Earth for the win.
Let's go.
It won't let me go through the blades.
Oh, hold on. The blades. Okay.
Silver, are you poisoned?
There you go.
Or are you...
I don't know what I am.
Oh, I think he's silenced. He can't talk.
I have 50 movement, and that's 40 to get there.
You definitely have more movement than the skeleton does. What is Silver's condition?
Oh yeah, I'm silenced. Yeah, I don't know why. I can't remember.
I think it was from the water. The water that I told all of you not to drink.
He got 24 points of necrotic damage from the water.
Oh.
Doc, I just want to follow the skeleton. Because I'm thinking he's going to take us to where Greenbone is.
No, you're right. He rolled a 2, so he can't talk for 8 hours. So he can talk now.
You can talk now. It's been way more than 8 hours.
Yeah, yeah.
How do
Certainly
I?
been more than 8 hours. You're gonna walk outside and all of a sudden
Valdemar, the skeleton, just like every time you catch up to it, it looks around and just turns and tries to run even faster. That it doesn't run very fast, but it is clearly just trying to get away from you.
Okay, I just want to keep following it. And if it appears to me, I mean, I have an intelligence of 8, so obviously I'm the brains of the outfit. If it appears to me that he's just trying to get away, I'm just going to start punching him.
Make an intelligence check and just see what you think of this. Let's roll some dice. It's been a while.
Let the dice decide.
So a D20 minus 1.
Well, you can just check intelligence, can't you?
Yeah, you
I
can
tr-
just
I
click on
tried-
intelligence.
I tried that. It didn't do anything.
On
If you click on the
ground-
word
the top
intelligence, yeah.
Yeah, Cyberpunk kind of ruined us a little bit, didn't it?
Yeah.
See, it works.
Okay.
Oh, Valdemar actually just thinks the skeleton is like put off by his smell or something, because he's suddenly very conscious that he hasn't bathed in like 112 days.
I feel like I can hear Val over there just going, the hip bone's connected.
Silver, though, you think that there's clearly something special about the skeleton with this weird thing on his head, and you seem to realize that this thing is just trying to get away from you, like out of fear, maybe, which is odd because skeletons don't have
Yeah.
feelings like that. But
That's messed up. That's messed up, DM.
Skeletons can have feelings too.
It's messed up.
oh, maybe they can. But it's weird because usually skeletons just kind of mindlessly attack you. And this one is trying to do what little it can to avoid you.
Let's just see where it goes. I mean,
Well, Scraps wants to shout out, like, hey, wait! And just to see, like, if the skeleton will do anything, because you never know.
Hey, listen.
Yeah, I'll be nappy for a moment.
It doesn't seem to do anything like that. It just keeps
Blacking away, like.
Yep. And it's completely pointless too, because you realize, Valdemar, you move way faster. So like the skeleton has no, like there's no way the skeleton can actually outrun any of you, but it doesn't seem to deter it. It just, it keeps looking behind it. It's like it makes its movement of like 60 feet dashing, and then it looks behind and sees Valdemar like right behind it, and it just keeps going. And it doesn't seem to be, if you just keep following it, like it will just keep making loops around this level of the dungeon. Like it doesn't seem to be going anywhere in particular. In fact, if you just keep following it, like it will eventually go around here and back around up here and through this room, and then it goes here. You notice, by the way, that all the doors that you had opened have been shut again. But, it just shambles through the doors and ends up here, runs in a circle, eventually back there. Like, it just seems to be just trying to get away from you without any particular aim or destination.
we
We're playing
trap it.
Are we playing a really messed up medieval version of Squid Game?
Yeah.
I wouldn't know. I haven't seen that show yet, so
Pretty good.
I can't decide if it's good or if it's one of those weird Netflix things.
You'd like it.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good. It's good TV.
Depends. Do you like? Have you ever seen Battle Royale? The Korean movie. Is it Korean or
Just
Japanese?
I haven't. No.
Japanese? It's like that.
I say we cut him off and like
Yeah, okay.
somewhere and trap him.
So the noise of this thing must be impressive. Just clack, 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 clack.
Yeah. It would be trivial to catch it. Like there is 5 of you, 1 of it, and it's been running in circles. Like you can pretty much just, one of you goes this way following it, one goes the other way. Boom, you've got
Wait,
them. Got it
You're
trapped.
a warlock, so can't you talk to the dead?
No,
Hmm.
I'm not a necromancer.
Alright, well, if there's no point in chasing this poor creature around, let's just leave it alone then.
So we can go downstairs.
Yeah.
Somebody with more health should go in front of me because I don't know what's downstairs. I know we haven't.
Can I make the argument that we should have healed fully since it was the 112 days and we weren't doing anything?
Yeah, but you also didn't rest because I said you were very hungry and tired. And
No. Yeah, well, I mean, I'm sure we probably fell asleep standing up.
Well, do you want to find a corner and then just...
So-
Yeah, we should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Valdemar, you've been trying to communicate with this spirit that's been, possessing you. And suddenly, after months of silence, it tells you that skull is important.
Just the skull or the whole skeleton?
Skull.
Jumping in front, I'm gonna start punching.
Oh,
And-
is this
and-
a good idea?
And the last thing you hear from this voice in your head is, "It's a key." And we don't even need to roll for attack because these, I mean, you know, one skeleton against the 5 of you. If you want to punch it and destroy it, that's easily done.
I want to destroy it enough to keep the skull intact. So I'm going to focus my punches on the abdomen region.
The rib
Which is-
cage.
Yeah, which is probably all I can reach anyway.
It's punching its pelvis, so I can't run anywhere.
Right in the kneecaps.
This is what happens when you don't pay Big Paulie.
Yeah, so you can, you know, it takes probably less than 1 or 2 hits really from you to separate the skull from the rest of the skeletal body. Like you can just punch it into a bunch of pieces and everything just kind of clatters to the ground, right? You know, there's a hip bone, there's some rib bones, and then there's the skull with this weird triangular shape on top of it.
We'll grab the skull with the weird triangular shape on it and hold it up above my 3-foot head and say, Moa spoke to me and said the skull is important, that it is a key. Told you guys I are smart.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay,
Question
well,
is, a key
where
for
does
what?
it go? Yeah, like where do we go?
Okay, so do you remember we spent so fucking long on a chest that we never got to open?
right.
As I was watching that earlier on, I could just see Chalk going, hint, hint, hint. And it took quite some time. It turned out like we were trying to open it because there was a key. Like we thought there was a key inside of it, but that wasn't the key we were talking about. That was a key for a different thing. Does that box have the same shape as this?
I don't even remember what that was.
Where is it?
It's all the way over here near the poop water.
Oh, you never opened that?
No, we did open it.
Did we?
I thought you
We
did.
shattered it.
Oh. Okay.
This triangular looking shape is like it's large. Like it is not small.
We open this door here.
No, that was a trap. That was highly
Correct.
advised against opening to get into the temple.
So downstairs, I guess we didn't.
Yeah,
go
maybe downstairs. We didn't go downstairs yet.
My
I don't
instincts
remember.
are telling me that this is a very, very bad idea, but I'm gonna do it anyway because nobody's listening to me.
Because you're brave.
Because I'm just a scaredy kid.
Well, yeah. So we should heal up first before going downstairs. Anyway.
You guys want a tiny hut, long rest? I mean, we've been frozen for how long? What's another night?
Where do we want to pop up the hut?
We could pizza the hut.
Pizza.
Here?
But,
We gotta crawl through the mouth of the
Yeah,
thing to get
right.
back in there.
yeah, that's right.
Well, we could go back in the room we were frozen in for 3 months.
And risk them turning the blades on? No.
You would have noted because Gelrin, you have a bit of a mind for mechanical things and stuff like that. It does look like there has been some efforts made to repair that fan blade. It's not functional yet, but you can tell that, you know, like some of the damage you caused to it has been repaired.
To
Yeah,
fix
let's
it.
not do that.
Well, we can crawl through the mouth and just hang out in this room, I guess.
Yeah.
What was in here?
Hang out in the room with the screaming, crying skull? Yeah, okay.
Oh
Good
no,
idea.
never mind.
With the little dead girl who Val didn't lie to.
Oh, that was in there.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Never mind.
That was such a funny miscommunication.
Yeah, I cringed watching that last night. I was like, oh no. No, you didn't, Val.
He did.
This was a magnetic thing up here, wasn't it?
In the top left.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Up where the fountain was, that was a magnetic force.
correct. Like everything just keeps getting pulled towards that statue. Everything metal. It's like the statue's a giant magnet.
Well, I'm fine. Do you want to come?
Yeah,
with
you don't
me?
have to worry about that, Scrap.
Not a piece of metal on you anymore.
I was gonna say we could crash. We could stay up there in that room, but
What about if we just stay over here in this area?
Didn't we get
Or-
attacked in there?
We can stay by the door down here.
yeah.
Hold on.
The front door.
Okay.
Or
Let
no,
me
that's-
do this. Let me try this. I'm gonna do. All right, where's everyone? I'm gonna get into a spot where I can see everyone. Cool, I can see everyone. I'm gonna do a prayer of healing at a 7th level. Get everyone up because I'm gonna pocket my 8th level for when shit gets really bad.
Wait a second. Aren't we going to rest in the tiny hut?
We haven't decided where we're gonna put the tiny hut.
Well,
I say we put it like right there.
yeah.
if we're
well,
gonna-
we just-
Yeah, if we're going to rest, then go ahead and waste that spell. But if we're not going to rest, don't waste the spell.
yeah, we just set it up here, and then anyone who tries to get past us can't get past us anyway, so it's all good. Like anywhere we stay in this place, they're gonna find us. So might as well stay in the tiny hut in a safe spot.
Right.
Thank you, Sansa. Sam.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You're welcome.
Hey, Silver, Bud, you coming in? All right.
Yeah.
Cuddle up right next to
Yeah.
me. Val, you can use my beard as a blanket.
I grew a beard.
A sleeping beard. Okay, I will take first watch.
I need to braid this bad boy.
I'll take the watch with you, T.
Okay.
Okay, give me a couple perception checks.
God, you rolled a 2 and it was a 14. Jesus, Scraps! I forgot your perception is ridiculous.
Yeah, there's a lot of things. Whenever Scraps notices something, she has to like nudge Valdemar and point it out, and he goes, "What? What? Huh?" It takes a little while, and they say, "Oh yeah, there's a little rat wandering by." At one point in the night, you notice another one of these tomb dwarfs just like sweeping the floor here going by, and actually as it encounters the remains of the skeleton, it sweeps those up into like a bag and slings it over its back and just wanders on. About an hour or so later, goes back the other way.
Perhaps. I bet I can kill him.
Right, you could.
Let me go get him. Let me go.
No,
get
we're
him.
not going to.
Damn it!
Itching for a
Hey,
fight after 112
You're not
days.
my real dad.
Go to your room.
I'm already in my room.
Be in your room.
All right, but nothing else of note. Curse, you start getting the general sense that these dwarves work here. They're sort of like the maintenance staff, if you will,
I bet you-
janitorial maintenance.
What the pay's like.
Yeah, I bet you they don't have dental. I sure as shit bet you they're not unionized.
Well, you did see what they look like. They don't look like regular old dwarves.
They look dead.
They do look dead. Or undead.
I don't know. Do my cleric senses tingle whenever they come by?
Your cleric sense.
Yeah, you don't like it at all. Like it is a, you know that that's not right. That shouldn't be. Just it's the same feeling you get around zombies and skeletons and generally anything evil and undead. It's just it is not natural.
Is it more so or around the same amount of feeling I get being around Silver?
Well, you have a certain fondness for silver that has been developed over time, but like it's the same sort of like they're clearly undead.
Fondness? Is that what we're calling it? Okay.
They're and like silver is undead, but you kind of let it slide because it's silver. You know, you know that it's like it's unnatural and this isn't really right, but you can kind of you can look past that. But yeah, these dwarves, something has happened to them or been done to them. This is not how they should be. They should just be dead and rest in peace. But
Yeah, don't touch them.
does anybody want to do a second watch, or you don't necessarily
I'll do a
have to if you
second
want?
watch.
But
I'll do a second watch.
okay.
What was it? Perception. There it is.
11. You don't notice anything out of the ordinary. It seems very, very quiet. You have no general idea of what time of day it is or anything because it's dark in here. Basically, there's obviously some you can see all the growth of plants and stuff from the outside that have made their way into here, but
Wait a minute.
it's pretty quiet.
Hold up. I have something.
You do?
Give me a minute. I have a small clock. Is it still? And I wound it before we came in here. Is it still running, or is?
Well, I think it would have frozen when you were frozen and then thawed out and started. It's running again, but you can't really tell if it's if it's still accurate.
Damn.
Nice try.
Tried. Well, back in the
Take it, your
pocket.
little sundial's like.
No sun.
Defective.
Galvin, did you do that healing word on us before?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Well, you can all so you all get a long rest. Spend 8 hours or so in the tiny hut here. And as that ends, is there anything else you want to do during the long rest, or do you just want to take your long rest?
Is this a new day?
Sure. For all intents and purposes, it is definitely a new day since the last time we played. It has been several new days.
There's a little attention to detail. You got rid of our little clock.
Well,
Or did it break?
it broke and got too complicated. I was like, fuck this. I
No,
don't care.
immersion purposes, it's... You took it out.
I did take some other things out too because there was a bunch of mods that stopped working or causing issues. So, like, I think I took out all those, or most of those special effects for shooting arrows and stuff because I feel like they weren't working. I don't know. OBS Ninja is on crack today. It's really weird. Like everything's fine on the window I have open here, but the one that OBS is capturing is wonky at times.
Yeah.
It's Gelrin's turn now and Dusty's, so it just goes around.
That's wild.
Right.
Well, yeah, so you've complete your long rest. You feel refreshed, especially some of you have recovered a lot of hit points.
All right. Well, I guess. Who would like to give me some arrows or something?
I got some darts.
We should have some in the bag of holding.
I got some darts which appear to have engraved on them stick figure Val flexing. I think they were a gift.
Yeah, I have a bunch of darts you can have too.
Yes, please.
Crossbow
Here.
bolts.
So there's 4 darts you can have from me. I don't know how to give those, or I just delete them on my inventory.
But if you want, I can drag them over to her.
Yes, please.
But the darts aren't going to go in in a bow, right?
No, they're weapon.
Yeah.
Can you drag 6 darts from me over to her?
Yeah, just delete them from yours. I'll just give her another
Okay.
6.
I have a poisoned crossbow bolt that you could probably use as like a makeshift shiv.
They're not magical darts or anything. They're just normal
Mhm.
darts.
No, yeah, give her my poisoned crossbow bolt. She can use that as a shiv.
I do thankfully still have my staff of fire.
I think my bag of holding is empty for some reason.
Oh.
We were robbed.
Oh no. In the 3 months we were frozen.
It's entirely possible.
How many rings can I wear?
It is empty.
Relax.
It is empty. Yeah.
Ooh, I don't remember what was in it.
There's
How
a
many
lot of
rings- how
stuff
many-
in there. We kept getting this stuff to hang on to.
How many rings can you wear? Can you wear up to?
I would say you can wear as many rings as you can logically find fingers for. Like, it's not like an RPG game where you can wear like 2 rings.
Yeah.
Like, you could wear 5 rings on one finger if you really wanted to. But you can only
all my
attune
fingers,
to a
right?
certain
Yeah.
number of magical items. So it depends on what
How
kind
many,
it is.
How many items can you attune to?
3.
3.
3.
1, 2. Shit. Wait, no. 1, 2. Should be good.
So
Put this ring-
yeah, I don't know what would have happened to the bag of holding. That's
So
What about all our diamonds in the bag of holding?
Yeah, those.
Yes, all of
those
our mini
diamonds that
diamonds.
we got.
now that I've seen how
And
detailed your
they-
notes are, you're going to have to show me the page of notes where it says how many
show me
diamonds you
the
got. Because
receipts.
I feel like you would have receipts for everything.
You didn't see all of my notes, so
I know we
give
had
me
a bunch of
couple
errors in
days.
there.
Give me a couple of days, and I will give you fresh notes.
Pretty sure there was a D.
So I know there's still
or D
stuff
somewhere in
inside
there.
your party loot that's still there. That has like, you know, some of those things. That still seems to be working, but yeah, I think it's fine. I'm sure you had some extra arrows in the bag of holding. How many do you want to give to Scraps?
However many.
Let's assume that you had like 100 in there. That seems about right.
How many do you want?
My quiver can only hold 20, I believe.
Give her about 350.
350.
About 350.
3.5 arrows, please.
Yeah, I just gave you 20 arrows, and then you can.
Thank you.
Scraps, do you want a shield?
It'd be too heavy for me to carry, wouldn't it?
It's only 6 pounds.
I can't use, but my arrow is 200, isn't it? Or my bow is only 200. So
Wait, what's your armor class?
I've forgotten where everything is. Oh, 14.
Okay. Well, if you use the shield, you can increase your armor class by 2. But you can't use your bow.
She can use a shield, but yeah, she would have to put it away. And I think in that case, like I've usually let you guys like switch weapons as a free action, but if you're switching from like a sword and a shield to a bow, I think that would require some doing.
Yeah.
There is technically, like, we can play it in the way that if you want to switch as a free action, you would drop your shield and weapon and switch to the bow, but then it would take an action to pick them up again next turn.
Okay. Yeah, that's okay, thank you. I still have my pistol shrimp.
Oh, because of my ring, I upped my AC 1. So you're in the loop. I'm 16 now.
Okay, so which ring was that? Ring of protection?
Ring of protection. Yeah.
Now Laren's camera's all messed up on Twitch.
Yeah, it's taking
Oh, no.
turns. It's taking turns.
I didn't do it.
Wait, you guys have little turn markers? I'm not seeing any of that on mine.
Just
Seeing what?
the camera.
Oh. Oh.
Taking turns with our cameras messing up.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're next, Colin.
Yep. Pass it on to you.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Alright, so where are we going now? We've got this head.
Downstairs.
Gotta
I
find
believe.
where it fits. Oh yeah, there's.
I'm actually going to update your AC to 16, Colin, so that it shows that properly.
Oh, okay.
At least I thought I was, but that didn't work. Never mind. There was a mod that was
Says
supposed to
15.
make that one. Yeah, it's not letting me change it. Well, you just remember it then.
Okay.
So I think you guys are aware of two ways down. There's obviously one right in this balcony, this central courtyard type thing that you can see quite far down. Like it gets dark, but it seems like this is sort of the central staircase of the entire dungeon. And then at one point you did discover like a secret door with a staircase down over on the left side.
Over here.
Yeah.
So, which way are we going?
Oh, this one's closer. What
Is
was down
my-
here?
Is
Do we
my
know?
paranoia sense tingling or telling me anything other than get out of here?
I mean, you just don't want to be here at all.
That sounds okay. That tracks.
Can you see anything looking down there? Let me see.
Can we see over the railing, maybe?
Yeah, you can look down a little bit. But you don't really see. You see that there's just a similar balcony, and then the center of it is open, but dark. Like it goes down. So it looks like this is like a balcony that goes around the outside, right? And then the staircase goes down, and it looks to be a similar balcony below, about 25 feet below you. And then you can tell that it continues to go further down, but it's outside of your vision. It gets dark. The one thing, by the way, sort of where you rested, and I don't remember if you recall this from last time, there was like this bronze plaque affixed to the wall.
Yeah, you said that was on the floor down below.
Right. So you can kind of see that glimmering a little bit.
Okay. Well, downstairs, I guess.
After you guys, I don't want to be here, so I'm just gonna follow.
Okay,
I'll
let
run
me.
up
I
the
need-
rear.
I need you to go in front of me.
Do you want me to go
No.
in front because I have the highest AC?
That would definitely make me feel a little better. Not much, but a little.
You want to hold my hand?
Yes.
What order are you going down?
You'd be in front.
I'll be the caboose.
Be behind Gil or Val.
So Valdemar, Silver.
Behind Gaval.
Gaval.
Gavalerin.
Valerie.
Silver, my eyes are up here. As I say to your kneecaps.
Okay. So you descend down about 25 feet down the stairs, and you find yourself on a very similar looking balcony. This
Very, very dark
floor,
in here.
this floor is indeed very, very dark. So whatever light sort of made it through cracks on the level above is not here anymore. There's also no vegetation that, filled much of the first level. It doesn't seem to make it down here. In fact, the whole air down here reeks of rotting flesh. And you notice on the walls there are a lot of sort of mocking devil faces that are engraved into the walls. It's very creepy
It's-
looking.
And it's Savnok. Why could you have taken my nose?
Val has a ring of light that is equipped, which emits bright light in a 20-foot radius.
Okay, let me see if I can make that
Oh
happen.
yeah, I got dark vision too.
I think
Does
my
that-
hat does that too.
Yeah, we're in. Call it.
I have dark vision. I'm a dwarf.
I have dark vision. I have dark vision.
I'm
Oh,
scared.
that's
I don't
way
want to
bright.
No, that's a little. That's a little.
Nobody looked directly at Valdemar.
when we said look, when we said rise and shine, like
Is that better?
scale it back a little bit.
If I had eyes, they would be burning.
And I,
You guys, last time, you guys think of me as a god.
Not that kind of god.
think Sansa. Let me see if I turn you around. I feel like you already
I
have.
had
Son of a
a hat.
bitch, maybe.
The gem casts a bright light for 10 feet.
Yeah, I
So
have
things
that
are completely
set here. Do I have to set it like this? Oh, okay.
Oh god,
Wow.
she's got her high beams on.
Yeah.
Got the
And
fog
she's
lamps.
behind everybody. Like,
Oh, look. Oh, see,
There we go.
Sansa's got the halogen.
So yours is directional, right? So you can, if you turn your token,
How
it
do
will
I
point.
rotate?
Shift and then the arrow keys, like if you have your token selected.
Ah, cool.
I think you can also do it with the mouse wheel. I don't remember.
Whoa.
So yeah, it is quite dark down here. I guess the only one without dark vision is Valdemar, right?
Gilren's just spinning in
But
circles.
Val has the light.
You have the
Fancy.
light. And one thing to keep in mind is that for those of you if you're not in light, even with dark vision, you do have disadvantage on perception related things because while you can see, it's dim. Like you cannot see as well as you could in daylight.
But I have true sight, which, quote me if I'm wrong, protects me from said bullshit.
Quote you if you're wrong.
Quote him, Chalk. Quote
Yeah. Yeah, it's bullshit.
No, I don't. I'm not.
Somebody clip it.
All right, so this plaque that you could see shimmering is over on this far side here on a wall.
Yeah, but see, I see normally in darkness, both magical and non-magical.
Well, that's you. You have a special
Yeah,
thing.
that's me.
Yeah.
Like I can see up to 120 feet just fine. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Like,
My name's Silver, and I'm impervious to all threats, physical or magical.
So to that point, Silver,
and I'm
you see
extremely
that
handsome.
this balcony goes all the way around in a square fashion, just like before, and then there is another staircase on this side here that seems to go down to another level below you. Valdemar, if you're looking at that plaque, this is
I
what
am.
it says.
That's a creepy looking face down there.
The ring is a path to another tomb. The dead abhor some light. Only a jewel can tame the frog. Bow as a dead god intended, intoned, into darkness descend.
That's just.
How do we know it's not bow and not bow?
Definitely bow. I don't want to. Scraps, don't leave me.
What's up with this thing over here? This face.
It looks like
What's up with
something you
this?
shouldn't do near a
So-
tunnel.
What's up with this face?
It's a small 15-foot square room. If you get closer to it, you'll see that the walls and the floor of this room are cracked and carved with images of terrified humanoids falling. In the middle of that stone is this stone bas relief of a bearded devil face painted green. If you listen, you can hear cries echo from the black void of its gaping maw.
Nope.
So basically, you
Hey,
can
Gilren.
see down
No.
its mouth in this darkness, and you hear these like echoes of screams.
Can't hear you. I got my Fey pods in.
Well, that's not disturbing or anything.
Silver,
Like,
would you like me to cast protection from evil and good on you while we're standing here?
I mean, we could just go back. I mean,
Or we could save the spell
Okay.
slot and just leave.
While they're up there doing that, I'm going to relay to Scraps what that plaque read.
Hey. The ring to the path is number 2. I am regretting switching out one of my spell slots, one of my spells. Which was basically I cast sunlight, but I don't have it on me.
Oh no.
Silver once again is going to ask, how do we know it's not bow and not bow?
Because we've seen your proficiency with the bow.
Oh, that hurts.
Oh yeah,
know-
never mind. Maybe
you
my
know if-
spell wouldn't have helped you.
If Greenbone was here, he would have said the exact same thing.
Yeah. I expected from Greenbone, but
Val is going to cosplay as Greenbone today.
I bet you're regretting like not play as Greenbone when you had the chance.
You know what I am regretting? Because I was well into Valdemar by the time I first started watching Critical Role Campaign 1.
Hmm.
I should have played Val as a mini Grog. Because they're both exactly the exact same character. They're both strong and tough, but dumb as a box of rocks. Because Val's got a -1 to his intelligence, which Grog has a -1 to his intelligence.
Breathe on your own.
Yeah, that's about all I can do. And I should have played Val like a stupid Ned Flanders.
It's funny.
Um,
So there's
We should-
Sansa.
we
You're
should-
looking down another hallway there that seems to extend quite a distance, and
Door.
that's the plaque
plaque.
that
Oh, that's the plaque.
Valdemar
Oh.
was reading. Yeah.
Right, right. Okay.
come on, Garen. This way.
No.
Here, I will go in front again because I have the highest
Okay.
AC.
I don't like any of this.
So at that point there,
Illuminating
Valdemar.
pack.
So you come across this 4-way intersection, which is a little weird.
Go
There's
ahead.
There's corridors to the north and south that curve upward and out of sight. So it's almost like the hallways go up like in a circular fashion. And you don't see any rails or steps or anything. It just looks like a curved corridor going up and out of sight. On the northern corridor, about halfway up, you see a corpse of something that looks to be like a half human, half goat like creature in robes, about 10 feet to the north. From where you are with the light that you're casting there, you can see that it is gripping onto a staff tipped with a bronze goat's head.
Ooh, I want to see this thing.
Yeah. One of you magic users need to look at this.
I just want to look at it.
Who has mage hand?
I do. Should I fiddle with it with mage hand?
That'd be the safest thing to do. Stand
Take
back
his
and let the mage hand, let the mage hand do things.
You all should fiddle with the idea. Maybe we should leave.
It's okay. It's okay. You still have my hand. It's okay.
Can I
Val
cast
will,
mage hand?
Val will ready
Yeah.
an action to attack that corpse if it does anything.
Okay.
Just also word of warning. Let's not forget the last time we came across a corridor with the big boulder that came like rolling down.
Oh,
on us.
geez, no.
Just a heads up. Just
Don't give Chalk any ideas.
Ready to jump into the hole.
he's already had this idea. He's already done this to us.
You can see him just hovering over the sound effect cue of dun da 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 dun da da.
Well, is this
Short stuff?
hallway slanted at all? Like something's gonna roll down it?
Well, it is.
Or is
It
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 flat?
seems it's slanted upwards, like in a circular fashion on both sides, but it goes up into darkness that you can't quite see. What's strange to you is this body, this corpse that's laying there about halfway up the side. You feel like it should have slid down, like it's laying at an angle. You know, like it's almost, think of a hamster wheel, right? And it's like halfway up the side, but you feel like it should have slid down, like somehow it's not. It's a little strange to you. What do you
We
want
have one of these in Iron Master. We call them a mystery spy.
to? What do you want to do with your mage hand?
Just slowly kind of
I haven't.
move parts of the body so we can see what's going on, and then maybe check its pockets if it has
There's your-
anything of interest.
There's your little mage hand.
Yeah.
Okay. So you can't see through the mage hand. You're just kind of like rummaging through it, looking for stuff. You could certainly take the staff if you wanted to. Like the corpse is clutching it, but it's dead, so you could easily separate it from that. if you're looking through more of his robes, there's a few things that you find inside there. One of them is a book. There's also what seems like some sort of an ink pot and a journal. And the staff, of course.
What is the book about?
The book, assuming you get your mage hand to bring it back to you, when you look at
yeah.
the book, it's very clear. It's a spell book. And as you flip through the pages, most of these spells, I think, are familiar to you. They're not terribly high-level spells. The highest level spells in the spell book are 3rd level, Dispel Magic and Fireball. There's also some 2nd level Arcane Lock, Cloud of Daggers, Flaming Sphere, and Knock. And then a variety of 1st level spells, basic stuff: Alarm, Detect Magic, Identify, Sleep, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
The ink pot looks... make an Arcana check. 16, you're pretty sure, even without identifying it, you've seen this kind of ink pot before, and it's an ink pot that never runs dry. So it's a very sort of minor magical item in the sense that it is just an ink pot that you never run out of ink from.
Nice.
That's nifty. We can use it to write our last will and testament because we're never getting out of here.
The staff, it's pretty clear to you that it's probably some sort of magical staff, because this person obviously had a spell book, so some sort of mage or wizard or something. And the journal, I can show you the page of this journal.
Should I be reading this out loud, or can everybody see it?
I think everybody can. I'm showing it to everybody.
Oh, okay.
Question for the DM. How long has it been since I got my memory wiped? Before we were frozen.
It's quite a while, because you traveled. Like this happened back in on the...
How long was it? Was it a year?
Yeah, I would say it's probably about 6 months now.
Oh,
6 months?
Jesus.
6 months? Okay. So, is that after the freezing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, like about roughly 3 months before the freezing and 3 months frozen.
Okay, damn. Well, I was gonna say, hopefully, I was wondering, it's like, oh crap, maybe my memory came back and I'd be able to shed some light on Yellow Banner, because I feel like that's something I'd probably know about. But never mind.
So, 4-armed gargoyle. That's a new one.
Sounds like,
Tomb Guardian.
Sounds like Goro from Mortal Kombat. Is it Goro? Yeah. No.
Yeah.
So they're...
A religion check on Asarak, because I somehow suspect it might be a demon.
Sure, go ahead.
-1.
Well, I wonder. I could ask Savnok. Hey, Savnok, if I know you're just
whoa.
gonna leave me on red, but do you know about this thing?
18.
Go Val.
You do recall hearing about Asarak in regards to this particular tomb. You recall that he's an arch-lich who is known to take sick pleasure in devouring the souls of adventurers, who he lures into trap-ridden dungeons where they suffer horrible deaths. In particular, you remember this Tomb of the Nine Gods, for which he slew 9 false gods and sealed them within. You rolled an 18. The other thing that you recall is that he was quoted for saying, "Why be a god when I can be a creator of gods?"
Oh man, it just sent a shiver up my spine. Oh, it's all right, guys. Asteroid's cool. Don't worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you sweating?
I'm saying that for Gelrin's
Benefit.
benefit. Yeah.
My true sight can see through the bullshit.
And in Halfling, I'm going to whisper, Asarak is an archlich. I forget who speaks Halfling. Nobody in the party. Nobody.
Everybody's just like, okay.
So you're sweating and you're talking to yourself. Are you sick?
What languages do I speak?
It would be hilarious if Gelrin was the only one that actually spoke Halfling, but I don't think anybody does.
Yeah.
I speak Dwarvish. Isn't Halfling just like a different dialect of Dwarvish?
Yeah, but it's kind of like Welsh and English or something. You know, it's close, but totally not the same at all. Like, you can't understand
Could I at
anything.
least, for the sake of progressing the narrative, can I at least pick out one word out of that? Of the DM's choice?
Yes, the word that you understand. No, the word you understand is suffer.
Oh, God.
Oh no. Can I tell how long this magic wielding person has been dead and how they died?
Make a medicine check.
Big number. Come on, Sans, a big number.
Okay. So this guy has a phylactery. So
Describe what the
10.
corpse looks like. I don't want to look at it directly. I can tell you.
You can't really place how long it's been, but it's pretty clear that this person was killed by wounds caused by axes and crossbow bolts. In fact, there are still some crossbow bolts stuck in the corpse.
Is there a chance they came after us, like while we were frozen?
It seems like it's probably been longer than that.
Okay, so
It was probably here before you guys were frozen. By the way, you would have had to walk up closer to it to inspect the body. And the thing that you notice is that as you're walking up this incline, you're not actually feeling like you're walking up a slope. You're just walking straight, but to other eyes, you're actually walking up the side of it. It's weird. There's some...
it's a fun house. We just haven't found the room full of mirrors yet. Mirror maze.
And so you also have this staff from him, but you don't quite know. You'd have to spend a bit of time with it to identify what it does.
I will relate to everybody what my religion check told me about Astarak.
La, 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 la.
In common. So he's an archlich, and we're all screwed. He takes perverse pleasure in our suffering, and he likes to create dungeons that trap and kill adventurers. And his favorite saying is, "Why be a god when you could be a creator of gods?"
So the other thing that you rolled pretty high.
Facebook message thing to say, isn't it? Like.
The other thing that you're
warranty is expired.
you're fairly certain that the creature that walked in and then out with Greenbone was Asarak.
Oh no!
Oh.
See, I told you.
Oh no!
We just should have left. Greenbone's a big tough guy.
He was the one that looked into all of our eyes.
Yeah. Greenbone would not have left you behind, Gelrin. Remember that. Greenbone would not have left you behind.
I see what you're doing here,
Telling you the truth,
but I don't believe you.
Greenbone would not have left any of us behind.
Maybe
Greenbone would
so.
have fought for us until his last breath. You know that to be true. It's the least we can do for Greenbone.
I would like to request a singular buff in confidence that lasts about 5 seconds.
You can make a constitution check and just see if you can steel yourself to the idea of staying for Greenbone's sake.
A saving throw or an ability
Just-
check?
Just a check. You kind of convince yourself for a brief moment that you're like, yeah, you know what, Valdemar's probably right.
But there's still that part where he was talking in halfling and he said suffer. it's sitting with me.
He said the guy didn't suffer. It's fine.
Look, we're the dragon seers. We've seen dragons. This is not a dragon. We're gonna go in, we're gonna kick ass, we're gonna get our buddy Greenbone back, and we're gonna go back to the surface, and we're gonna go to the pub, and you guys are gonna drink because you're alcoholics, and I'm gonna have milk. And that's the way we always do things. That's the way the dragon seers work.
That's true.
It is very
I
good.
did smoke pipe weed with the dragon. Not many people can say that.
Sansa's gonna eat. We're gonna go to the pub. Sansa's gonna get a big wheel of cheese and gorge herself on cheese.
Hmm. Cheese coma. It's coming.
Silver is gonna sit in the corner and sulk all hot and bothered like he always is, looking all sexy. And you, Greenbone and Scraps, are gonna drink beer, and I'm gonna drink milk, and we're gonna have a fun time. So let's do this.
Never would have expected Valdemar to be the like cheerleader of the group at this point.
Ready?
All right.
Okay.
All right, Scraps, I'm ready to take the next step. You can let go of my hand.
Okay.
And
You've just been grabbing it, holding it so hard the whole time. Like,
I'm right here, okay? So just stick close. We're okay.
Just stay right there.
Just a little step forward.
Okay.
Come on, let's go.
Let's do this.
So beyond the corpse, there's nothing at the end of the hall that I can detect or see.
as you move closer to it, you can keep seeing a little bit more. It's like the path continues.
Oh, there's
And-
more to that path?
And you keep walking, and Valdemar sees you sort of walking up this slope, up and almost to like the point where you should be, where you're horizontal to his eyes. But to you, you're just walking. And as you keep walking and walking, at some point you suddenly appear on the other side. Like you walked
Whoa.
around a wheel. But to you, it just felt like you were walking along a straight path. There's some weird gravitational effect going on here that's making you walk around in a circle.
And I walk up behind Val and
Yeah.
tap her on the shoulder.
Yeah. I punch her. Stanza, remember, like I just watched you walk all the way around in a circle. But remember what I told you about Asarak? He's a trickster. So we can't take anything too literal in here. Everything is going to be a trick to deceive us.
Very true. But it was fun. You should try it.
Can I run around up there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Make a perception check as you do that.
Why are
Oh,
you spinning
jeez.
wildly, Calvin? It's okay. Stop spinning around. You're making us.
Just breakdancing by himself.
Stealing himself.
How many are you doing? Like a couple of loops, like think of the hamster wheel, just once?
Yeah, I'll do like 3 or 4.
Okay, so the one thing,
50 movement.
yeah, the one thing you notice is that as you sort of crest the halfway mark, like where you know, if it's a circle, you get to the top half of the circle, you no longer see that corpse that's laying there. It's like once you cross this line, you don't see the corpse, you don't see your friends on the top half of the circle.
I will definitely relay that information. Like there is a point when you get up to the top that I can't see you guys, I can't see this dead guy, I can't see anything. It's at a certain point up at the top. It's like, you know, I can't see it where you guys are. Like you're out of my eyesight.
We use that to our advantage.
And like not just out of your eyesight, but like you can see where they stood, but they are not there. So it's not like you just can't see them because your vision is obscured. Like you can see the exact tile that like Sansa's standing on is now empty. And then as you go around and you crest the halfway point again, Sansa pops back into view. Like
Tricks.
So.
But I didn't, as I was running around, I didn't see any other doors or anything.
no.
No other openings. Okay, it's just one big circle.
Yeah.
Okay. I will relay that information also. So I think obviously this is an optical illusion trick that Asarak is doing to separate the party. And if you read what this guy wrote, his party was separated. So the key for us is not to fall for any of these tricks and not to be separated.
Is there a way we can bring up what the plaque said again?
Yeah.
Sorry, the note.
I think it's also in your journal tab, the little book tab. But
There's
I'll
nothing in
pop
the
it.
journal tab.
There isn't?
No.
Nope, it's empty.
Yeah, it's empty.
Weird. Maybe I have to resave the permissions.
Good. Do you know who I miss? I miss Hoots.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want him here, but like, I miss him. It's been
Yeah.
so long
Wonder how
since
big
I've
he
been
is now, or
on-
she.
It's been-
Is it in
I
the
know.
Is it in the notes,
missed-
the journal now, T? Like if you switch away from that tab and back?
Nope.
Uh,
Oh yeah,
Black-
plaque
See,
level
plaque
2.
7, level 2.
Okay, that's the one. Okay.
And oh, do you have the journal entry from this wizard guy?
Ah, yes. That should be there now too. And also the obelisk note that was outside.
Oh, yeah. Who or what is the star falling?
They
It
had
sounds
a
like a weapon.
doppelganger.
I took the Starfallen to be a weapon.
Even if we'd found the eye, the elf princess.
Wait. What about where in the plaque where it says only a jewel can tame the frog? Maybe the Starfallen is a jewel.
Could be.
Maybe. Or the eye is the starfall.
Well, the eye could be the jewel, yeah.
Perhaps I'm feeling braver.
Okay. Oh, where are you going?
Galrin.
Whoa, steady on.
I'm
steady
feeling
on.
brave.
No, wait.
Grab his hand!
I'm gonna grab Galrin.
Like
Only
running
grab
after a little
Galrin.
kid.
We're trying to read notes. And
Like grab him as in like not let him move any further?
Yeah, not let him go any further.
Do you permit that, Galrin, or do you want to resist it?
I'm gonna resist it.
So then both of you
I'm
make
feeling confident.
a strength check.
Strength or athletics?
Strength. Just straight up strength. It's just a tug of war, and Valdemar, you're not able to pull hard enough. So, Galrin, you can move freely, but it's clear that Valdemar wants to stop you, but he's not able to. This chamber that you enter, the whole room smells of wine, Galrin. The floor is this checkerboard marble floor, and in the center of the room is a gilded coffin that sparkles in sunlight streaming down from the chamber's vaulted ceiling, which arches about 12 feet overhead. There are 4 huge stone gargoyle heads on these walls here. Their mouths are open, and they're sort of built into the wall, like they protrude from the walls.
Let's not forget about the four-armed gargoyle that we read about. The dead abhor sunlight, so whatever's in that casket will not like the sunlight if we open it. That seems like a trap, though. I'm just. There's wine in here, you say, yeah?
It smells like wine.
Very pretty box.
And there is a wooden plaque. Sorry, no, there's not. My bad. The
Exception. I see a wooden plaque.
the coffin is closed, and it has like a hinged lid.
Can I check for traps
Yeah.
on the?
Val,
Get out of your way.
your words really inspired me. I'm a flip the lid on this
No,
thing.
wait. Let me check for traps.
What's wrong with you? Somebody strap him down.
If he starts to move for the lid, I'm going to try to grapple him.
Okay, investigation.
Do I still
You
have that?
told me to be brave. I'm being brave.
You
Is it brave, not stupid?
you have a quick look around the lid, Scraps, and there doesn't seem to be any like obvious wires or strange mechanisms that you can spot with a 12.
Okay.
Wait, remember, in darkness it hides.
It's only stupid if something bad happens. If something good happens, I'm a hero.
Where did this? I wonder where this goes. The line.
So assume that you don't see behind that. I should have closed that off. It's
Oh.
just there are these four gargoyles with mouth open, and I guess if you get close to them, you feel like the scent of wine is stronger at those figures, at those things that are attached to the wall.
There's four of them, yeah?
Yes.
Fine.
I'm going. If he reaches for the lid, I'm going to try to grapple him.
There's apparently no traps according to my investigation.
Do it.
I'm going to grapple him.
I'm gonna flip it.
I mean,
Before we do the flipping and all the flopping and all the other stuff,
The flipping and the flopping.
I am going to cast Conjure Animal.
what are you gonna conjure?
Well, I thought that I. So, do I get to choose still, or is it?
Sorry, let me check. It's been a while. You just get to choose which of those. Like, do you want one beast that's CR2 or lower, or do you want two beasts? You know, and then
Yeah, I thought I couldn't remember if I got to pick still or.
no, we'll do it randomly.
Okay. I will go with.
I will make them all the same. Well, no, we'll see. We'll see.
I'll go with the challenge rating of I guess half.
So that's 4
Yeah.
beasts. Used to have a.
About to make you proud, Val. Your words of encouragement.
Did something happen to you, Galerin?
Can you cast
No.
the spell, Silver, so that it
Yeah,
pops
yeah.
the thing? Thank you. Okay, so they are just beasts. All right.
Ooh, and they're all Fey too.
Slap.
I love websites that don't sort properly. Okay. Mhm.
I have a kitty.
I'd like to cast this spell too, and this
You
is
conjured an animal.
I did. I
Right.
conjured an animal. Look, I conjured a
It worked.
kitty. I get one shadow.
Shadow uses scratch.
She uses headbutt because
Oh.
she wants to rub my beard.
Don't we all?
Yeah.
We all want to cuddle your beard.
Let's see. I'm gonna.
Here, I'll move the plate. Come here.
One more.
Yeah, sit there. Super.
Give you a nice variety. Oh, that's not a good one. So, next to you appear okay. Where are you? There. A black bear,
Oh, nice.
a crocodile,
Oh, geez.
a giant wasp,
Okay.
and a magman, which is this
what?
small little, like, fiery, mischievously grinning elemental.
Some neat.
Do you have a different list than what I have?
I don't know, maybe I just made up shit. What list are you looking at? I just looked for CR half, like...
Ow. I didn't see the Magman. Like, I've got
Oh, okay.
8 black bear, crocodile, giant goat, giant seahorse, giant wasp, and reef shark and warhorse.
Oh, yeah. Well, I might have pulled from a different list, but... Yeah, I thought about that. It's like a shark flopping around on
Just
the ground.
flops on the floor.
You have to stuff it into the wine thing and just be like, it'll be alright.
You're pouring wine into its mouth. You'll be fine. Could I cast a spell before
I
we get
have-
crazy?
Conjured a
Well-
zoo.
Let's just roll initiative because everybody wants to do something different. We'll take
Yeah.
Silver's first turn away already because he's already done it. But let's roll
Yeah, that's what I said
initiative.
Just want to be prepared.
I don't want to waste a whole turn on it.
Bonus action to shove.
I cast the spell, then everybody else wants to cast one. Jeez.
Trendsetter.
What are
I
we
rolled
doing?
a-
Initiative?
Just
Yeah.
just to determine an order because everybody wants to do a thing. Everybody wants to do something before somebody else. So
See, it works out.
there you go. Silver's at the end anyway. So Sansa, go ahead.
Okay, I just wanted to cast protection from evil and good on myself.
Okay.
Nobody wants it.
Nobody. I mean, I'll take it. I mean,
Nope, too late.
I don't need it. I'm feeling confident.
Oh god. He's...
Anybody else want to do something?
I would like to have produce flame ready. Just want to have it ready.
Okay.
Just just to keep it here. Under the pretext of keeping myself warm, but it's not for that.
Can you like pretend you're juggling the flame? Just move it back and forth.
Yeah. If they're not already, I would like to ignite my Agni fists.
Okay.
Get all the frost off them.
You're about to feel the frost.
What about you, Gelrin?
I'm gonna flip the lid.
If he makes a move for that, I'm going to try to grapple him to stop him.
Flap your hand so hard.
I think we're pretty prepared. Like, why not just let him flip the lid?
Well, I'd
Okay.
like to slap away from the lid if he does that. I only came over here to slap you in the wrist.
I'm flipping the lid. What do I gotta do?
You just open it.
Open sesame!
So you flip the lid open.
While I
Famous
open it, I'm
last
gonna
word.
yell. I'm gonna yell out, confidence!
On the inside of the lid is a wooden plaque that reads, "Drown your sorrows." And as the sunlight from above strikes the plaque, you begin to hear a stone block right here in the ceiling
Oh, fuck.
slowly start to descend, closing off the entrance. You have one turn to decide what, if anything, to do. So Sansa, you're in the top of the order there. You can decide what you want to do. So this right here, there's a stone block that's just, it's slowly descending down.
I don't know.
I don't like the drown
wanna
your
stop it.
sorrows thing, so
I want to try to stop the door from shutting all the way, but I don't know what to do. I don't have that dragon head in the bag, do I? Gotta chuck it under the door.
How slow is it closing?
Yeah, how much time do I have?
It will take one turn to close. So it's beginning to close now. After Silver's turn, it will have reached the ground. So basically, you all get one turn to decide what to do about it, if anything. Tick-tock, Sansa.
I know.
I don't have the turn timer anymore,
Motion
so
of
I just gotta
breathing
do it. I'll just...
underwater. Okay, I'm just gonna react by shooting Ray of Frost at the door and hoping that it slows its movement.
Okay. I mean, even that's a 10, but even that would still hit. Like it's just a block slowly moving down, but it doesn't seem to have any impact.
No, of course not. No, I'm
is the
gonna.
door-
I'm just. That's it. I'm gonna just.
Okay.
That's it.
Scraps.
Is the door moving magically?
How would you know? Like, what do you mean?
I don't know. I don't know. I have to spell magic. And I'm thinking,
Everything's
like, does
magic
that
in
work?
here.
Erupting Earth sound like a good
Yeah,
idea or a
yeah.
bad idea?
Well, it's gonna shut on us either way, so you could erupt underneath
So
the door.
make an Arcana check because you're asking yourself that question: is it magical? Make an Arcana check. Hey, you're not sure. If anything, you think maybe the sunlight that hit the plaque might be magical, but the block seems just like a solid block that.
You all should run out of here. I did this. I will see it to the end.
how do we know it's not some sort of trick?
Because it's not.
So it obviously is. Trixie.
Either way, I'm ready, and I am fully confident that I will survive this.
Really wish I had some duct tape to put on your mouth. Just saying.
You think
What
I'm
do we reckon
possessed?
if
I'm really
I
not.
don't-
What do we think of the erupting Earth idea? Yes, no? It'll make it very hard to get out of this room.
I mean, Columbus took a chance.
Yeah, but I mean, look what happened to that guy.
Is that really the model you want to follow?
Yeah.
I mean, it couldn't
Uh,
hurt at this point. I know what I'm gonna do.
Yep, I know what I'm gonna do. It's only if
Wish
shit
I
gets
could
really
have had
bad.
a little more time.
I'm gonna use my produce flame that I already have in my hands to hit the lid closed. See if that does anything. As I don't.
Slap is shut.
I think erupting earth will fuck us if I trap us in this room.
Is there anything else in the coffin?
You would have to spend like an action to look around.
Okay.
I use my produce flame at the.
Who's inhabited? Yeah, okay. No, go ahead. Eight.
Just to knock it over.
I mean, so like your flame does hit the chest, or the coffin, but it doesn't seem to have any impact. Like the wooden plaque begins to smolder a little bit from the flame, but
Okay, well, that's me. I don't know what else to do. I don't want to kill us all, like, you know?
Valdemar, at the start of your turn, you perceive a little note from the god that's possessing you, from Moa, pointing out that this tomb does not match the symbolism of any of his godly companions.
Okay, I will, as a free action, say, according to Moa, this tomb does not match any of his godly companions. As an action, I'm going to shut the tomb, shut the lid on the coffin.
Okay.
Does that stop the movement?
It does not.
Okay. As a bonus action, I am going. Oh, god damn it! No, I don't want to do this now. How fast is that coming down? Pretty fast, right? And it's a solid block of.
It's about halfway down now.
It's a solid block of concrete, or.
Yeah, it looks pretty sturdy to you.
Okay. I'm going to spend a key point as a bonus action. Use Step of the Wind. As I'm running, can I grab Scraps along the way since she's on my way out to the door? Since we're both small, and like grab her to pull her out?
Make an athletics check to see if you're able to do that. Scraps was just casting, like, doing that spell, so she's in the, essentially just finishing off something, so she's not easy to pick up necessarily. 17, though, yeah. You could do that.
Okay. So my 50 feet of movement is there.
I would say you just make it out to, like, here, or there even, because you'll be slowed down by dragging Scraps, essentially. So you can stay there, and then, yeah.
Okay.
That works. Okay.
Because this is my thought process, guys. It's easy if it closes us in. We have a better chance. Two of us have a better chance of getting you out than just one. Scraps got magic. I can punch. So maybe I could punch a hole in the concrete, but I figure two of us outside is better than one of us outside. Or none of us outside and we die a horrible death in there.
So, Gelrin, what do you do?
I am going to stand on top of the coffin. And then just... I'm going to stand right here like this.
Okay.
And I will utilize an action to tell... I don't know, it's probably too late for them. I was just like, you two should leave.
Well, Silver has his turn and his 4 Fey animal companions.
Yeah. Trying to figure out what.
I'm just gonna... I guess before you go, your animal companions get to go.
Okay.
They'll all
Do I
go
have
on that
control over
same... No, just tell me what you want them to do.
Oh, okay.
You basically issue a command to them, like a verbal command, and then they will do
Yeah.
that. their default state is just to defend themselves.
I want the bear, the wasp, and I guess the magma? No. Man, I don't know if I didn't want to stay in here or...
When Gelrin said you two should leave, he appeared very confident.
Where'd you get the balls all of a sudden?
Val's speech.
Okay.
You got all kinds of gods messing with your mind. I don't trust anything.
Yeah, I think we're all gonna move out of the room.
Might want to take Sansa with you. I don't think she can move.
Yeah, and I can try and grab Sansa on the way out.
I had like a whole minute to decide what to do.
Can you get one of the animals to take Galrin out with you?
Yeah, have the bear grab Galrin and pull him out.
Have the crocodile or the wasp, like, or
Put him in
I
his
don't know.
teeth.
No. Just go.
All right, man, I'm gonna trust you.
So what are you telling the animals to do?
So can I have the bear grab Sansa on the way out, and then we all exit?
You're not gonna grab Galrin?
Gelrin wants to stay, and I'm gonna trust him.
Have the bear. So let's see. We'll make a. It's probably safe to say that the bear would be able to do that to Sansa.
Leave him in here.
I'm going to trust him.
Are you possessed too?
So the only
No.
problem with that is the
Okay.
bear's maximum movement, if he takes Sansa, is exactly where Scraps and Valdemar are, and he can't get to that space. So the closest the bear can get with Sansa is right underneath the stone block.
Please
Oh,
leave me in the
damn.
room. I don't think I can hold up the stone block.
What's the wasp movement?
It just
I
flies
don't want-
50 feet.
I guess the wasp wouldn't be able to carry her out.
No.
The giant wasp, so.
Oh, how big is giant?
Giant.
It's still only medium though, and
Pretty
it's not
amusing.
very strong. Like
What
it's giant
about-
for a wasp, but it's still small, like medium sized. You know, it's
Man.
not a transport
What about-
helicopter
is-
wasp.
I guess the crocodile's just a regular sized crocodile.
Yeah, it's still large, but it doesn't move very far. 20
Yeah.
feet.
Oh, jeez. It's
Hey,
not very far,
Sean.
crocodile.
The lighting's good, right? I fucking fought with that yesterday. Tape stuff. So.
Yeah, let's exit out of the. I mean, we'll have animals to break down the door too.
Okay, so all your animals leave?
Yeah, we're all gonna head out.
We're just
Bye.
leaving Galrin there?
So the
Gelrid wants to. I trust him.
Well,
Let's see,
you're
the
not
bear
taking
can
me,
get-
right? Because we'll just end up under the.
bear
Yeah.
can get out.
Yeah.
This can get out. That can get out. The crocodile would have a hard time fitting through the hallways. In fact, it wouldn't fit through the hallways. So I don't know what you want to do
Okay,
with
well,
the
then
crocodile.
I'm going to tell the crocodile to assist Sansa and Gelrin with whatever they need.
Okay.
Only me, not him.
Or well, yeah,
Yeah,
let's
trust
go
what
with
you
just
say.
Sansa. Let's assist Sansa with whatever she needs.
Okay. So it kind of like walks over to Sansa and like does this like
I'm gonna
you know
pat
how
it on the head.
yeah, you know how cats headbutt?
Does the crocodile
The
purr?
crocodile does a little headbutt to Sansa's fist. It's like a fist to crocodile head. But what about you? What about you, Silver? What do you do?
I'm gonna exit stage left.
Okay, so you can get all the way through the back there.
Dang,
Okay.
If I knew this was the plan, I would have Missy stepped out the door.
So at this point, the 6 seconds finish, and the stone block is fully lowered, sealing the room airtight. And at the same moment, these 4 gargoyle statues, the mouths, there's some valve behind it that opens, and out flows wine into the room, slowly filling up the room with wine.
Sansa, come up here with me.
It's gonna be death by drinking, isn't it?
I was looking for a potion of water breathing because I had a feeling this room was gonna fill up. But wine breathing, I don't think I had a potion for that.
Wine
I mean,
breathing.
wine is water-based, so...
Can I like freely just walk up there to him and just?
Yeah. It's
Stand on the box?
Yeah, it's a couple of feet tall. It's nothing special to climb. It looks like the wine is flowing in at about a foot per round.
Can we hear
Yeah, I was gonna say, can they
on
hear?
the other side the sound of fluids rushing in?
No. That stone seems to seal that hallway up pretty tight.
I say we start chopping at it. Is that what we're gonna do? Is just
So Sansa, you walk up, you climb up on top of the coffin next to Gelrin. Scraps, you were basically shuffled out the door by Valdemar. What do you want to do?
If I do erupting earth now, would it break the door? Do you think? As I asked Val.
Possibly. But I mean, I have an 8 intelligence. I mean,
Okay, Silver. Do you think erupt earth would fuck up this door?
it's possible. I mean, it's a very thick door, and it's made out of stone. So if you're gonna use it, I would say maybe it's sealed up pretty tight. There's any way to get like say if there was any way to get underneath the door, maybe, or like
It's sealed tight. Like, so I'd have to just come up from the ground under it.
yeah.
Doc, I sent you a message.
I don't know how to save my friends.
It is in my ability to do it.
Okay.
7 days. Dang it.
I mean, I say you can give it a shot, Scraps.
I'm not sure what else I can do. So I choose erupting earth on the door. Well, that's a big fucking area.
Yeah, it is a big area. So you cast that, and you begin to see the ground inside that area begin to shift a little bit, but it does not seem to budge the stone block at all.
Is it at least making the liquid flow through?
It doesn't even seem to cause any cracks or anything like that. It seems like the stone block is impervious to magic.
Oh shit. Well, fuck.
Sansa, do you trust me?
I don't have much choice, do I?
can I start?
I'm
can I
gonna
start
reach out.
punching the block?
I'm gonna reach out my hand to Sansa and put her hand on my hand, put my hand over the top of it, and just look at her and was like, "It's gonna be okay."
So that was.
Why are you sweating so bad?
That's not the sweat. That's the wine.
Valdemar, your turn.
I'm gonna start punching the block.
All right.
See if I can do any type of damage. You want me to roll attack rolls?
No, I mean, it's safe to say that you're able to hit it. It's stationary. It does not seem to take damage. Like, you are punching solid rock.
Well, Val is an idiot. So he's going to keep punching the rocks. Because he knows no better than to keep... His friends are in there, and they're trapped. He's going to keep punching the rock to try to break it.
Fair enough. Gelrin?
All right, with Sansa's hand's still in my hand. Do you trust me?
Sure.
Not like you have much of a choice.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. How high is the wine about at this point?
Well, it's only a foot at this point,
At a foot?
but it is about to reach 2 feet at the end of the round. So it's flowing at about a foot a round.
Okay, and how high are we above the?
Oh, I would. Well, the coffin's height is what, like 2.5 feet?
Okay, I'm gonna do my thing next round.
Like, you're not at this moment. Your feet are still dry, standing on the coffin. Yeah.
Would you like to inform me of said thing before I have my turn?
I'm about to choose something that I have been able to do for a while and just never found a reason to actually do it until this case. The smell of wine inspired me.
Well, I'm intrigued. Okay, cool. Go.
He's going to turn you both into a grape.
Probably better than the fate that's before me at this point.
I don't know. Can you think of a better fate than being surrounded by copious amounts of wine that we could just...
It's not a bad way to go.
I mean, I can think of a million other ways that are worse.
But there's no cheese
Can I-
for Sansa.
Can I reach
She got
down
cheese in her
and
bag.
sip the wine a little bit? Just a little tiny, like, just to see what it tastes like. What grape variety it is.
The
Lovely,
choice
lovely
is-
Pinot Noir.
You know,
Or
it's
smell it. I'll sniff it. I'll swish it around and I'll smell it.
it's very it's not very good. It's like very cheap, sort of mass-produced type of wine. It's like box wine, Costco box wine.
Kirkland special.
Yeah.
Got it.
Question. Remind me what happened when you guys saw the
The sommelier.
the green mask thing. Because I was busy writing notes. So you saw this green horned figure.
Oh, yeah. It's like a stone relief carved into the ground, painted green, and its mouth is like open, but it's darkness, and you can hear like screams or echoes of crying.
Stop your crying!
What are you actually doing anything though, Gelrin, or are you just sharing your? Are you just telling Sansa that you have a plan and it will happen soon?
Yes, I have a plan and it'll happen soon.
Okay.
It's just not enough on the floor currently to take fruition.
So the crocodile is going to basically just follow you, Sansa, and
Yep.
you know, it doesn't seem to mind the wine too much. Silver, did you want your other animals to do anything outside in the hallway here?
No, I mean, there's not much you can really do at the moment, so gonna chill out.
Okay. So at the top of this round, the wine is now up about 2 feet. Sansa?
Is there anything else in the room that is of interest? Oh, is the light still shining from the...
Yeah, the sort of artificial type of sunlight is still
Oh,
shining
so it
down.
wasn't really a opening or anything.
No, because it is a closed ceiling. The 4 gargoyles, that's where the wine is spewing out of at the moment. They're about 5 feet tall, 5 feet wide. They're fairly large, and the mouths are about 2 feet in diameter. You did distinctly notice that when this started, there was some kind of valve or door that had now opened behind those gargoyles' mouths, which is causing the wine to flow in. And you can, on the map, you can see like a little bit down. It's some sort of a small, narrow pipe or something like that.
Okay, I'm not gonna do anything because I'm gonna trust Gelrin, but if this goes awry, I'll do something next time.
Okay. Scraps?
I don't know.
Like, you're not really noticing much of anything outside, other than that this block has now sealed the hallway, and so far it hasn't reacted to your spells or Valdemar's punches.
I mean, I don't know what I can do. Like, I'm looking at my spells, going like, I don't know. Knock on the door, and like knocking on the door, like, hello,
Housekeeping.
housekeeping.
God, I really hope this works. It's
Hope
gonna be
so,
really
too.
awkward. It's gonna be really awkward if it doesn't. Hey, it's okay. I know this deity. His name's Savnok. He's a bit of a bastard, but he's really chill dude.
But the only thing I can really do is like I misty step into the room, but I don't know what I'm misty stepping into.
You'd have to
Airtight.
see where you can go.
No, not necessarily.
Use it,
But
right?
I don't know what to do. Like once if I get in there.
Once you get there, yeah.
You'll
Oh,
just
no,
be trapped with us.
Oh no, it's I can only, yeah, I can't if I can't see the space, I can't teleport.
I think the room's airtight anyway.
Yeah. I don't know. Is it just the door that was impervious, or did the ground around when I tried to erupt Earth, did any of that shift or change? Did the walls move? Did anything?
Well, the walls wouldn't really be affected by erupting Earth. Like, erupting Earth makes the ground move up and makes it more difficult to traverse, really, so...
Okay. I don't know. Anyone have any ideas?
I'm just gonna have to trust Gelrin.
Anyone have
I
a
hear
hammer?
those words come out of your mouth.
I have a hammer. Can I start smacking it against the thing?
Ding 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 ding.
Yeah.
Oh, you can.
Okay, well that's what I choose to do. I don't know what else to do. My friends are dying in there.
Oh, it's really too bad you don't
We're
have
just
this one
getting white
spell
girl wasted.
Yeah, I know.
prepared.
I know. I'm kicking myself for not having it. Yep.
Which
Exactly.
spell?
The one that has
The
sunlight.
daylight or sunlight, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I mean, for this particular situation, you have one that would be
Oh.
perfect, but you don't have it prepared.
No. I hate hearing those words. It's such a bad feeling of like, I wish I clicked that little button.
Mhm. Which spell?
He's not gonna tell us
Um,
now.
well,
It's
it
better not to
doesn't
know.
matter. You don't have it prepared, so...
Yeah, now I see it.
Okay, so you're just, like, trying to chisel
Yeah,
at the
I'm
wall.
just trying to hammer the fucking walls.
Okay.
I don't know what else to do.
It doesn't... It's very similar to Valdemar's punches. It doesn't seem to have much of an effect. What are you going to do, Valdemar?
I'm gonna keep punching.
Okay.
Wait. No. I'm looking at my inventory right now. I have a crowbar. Grants me advantage to strength checks where the crowbar's leverage can be applied. Grabbing the crowbar, I'm going to try to like gain purchase underneath the door, the stone block, to see if I can get the crowbar in there to lift up the block.
Make a strength check.
Okay, with using the crowbar, I get advantage.
Mm-hmm.
What about you wanted the inspiration too?
Well, that would just give him an extra.
Oh no, yeah, that wouldn't matter. Ooh!
Oh,
21. So you get the sense that strength-wise, that's pretty good, but you actually can't find a proper little gap or notch or anything to jam the crowbar into. Like, it is sealed airtight.
Oh. I just wasted a nat 22. Oh.
Just put it in your pocket for later.
Yeah, I'll save it for later.
All right, Gelrin, it's your turn.
All right. Is it at 3 feet?
It is about to be at 3 feet.
All right. Hey, Sansa, now that this wine's hit 3 feet, you're about to see some serious shit.
Oh boy.
So what I want you to do is, as soon as I do the thing I'm about to do, I want you to get into the tiny hut.
I can't just like use that when I want to.
Oh, really?
It's not prepared, so no.
Oh, you'll be all right then.
I have a plan. Just do this. I can't. Oh, you'll be fine.
This is why you're supposed to tell me about the plan before we do the plan, so I can tell you that I don't have the spell that is.
I'm just trying to impress all of you. So okay, this is what I'm gonna do.
I
I'm
do
gonna.
have Resilient Sphere, but I can't use it till my turn.
Okay.
Do you think I would need that?
What does that do?
Makes a sonic ball.
It's a
around
hamster
me
ball.
that's protective. Yeah.
Nothing can get in, right?
Yes. Nothing can get in.
Oh yeah, that could be useful then. All right, I'm gonna use both of my wild
Protective
shapes and my inspiration to transform into a wine elemental and absorb the wine.
What?
What?
Wait, what? That's a thing? You can do that?
It's water. It's water based.
So,
Oh, my camera's messed.
I don't think Chuck's eyes can roll back in his head any harder than they just did.
I sent it to him beforehand and he didn't tell me no, so if he told me no, I'd been like, well, we're boned.
He never tells us no. He always says, well, you can certainly try.
I mean, you can turn into like a water elemental, I guess, because you've seen one of those before.
Well, I mean, I can turn into one regardless because it's Druid level 10.
Oh, is that one where you don't have to have seen it?
Nope. I can turn into any elemental.
Okay, so in that case, let's see.
And it's a water elemental, but for all intents and purposes, it's a wine elemental because it's wine. It's still water based. So
Yeah, so you've now
Cabernet or Merlot
wild shaped
or
into
kind
a
of elemental.
wine weird. So Sansa, you now see this standing beside you in place of Gelrin.
Am I still holding whatever was his hand?
Well, it's now turned into liquid wine, so it just kind of, you now just have, like, your hands turned red, and for a second you're like, oh god, I'm bleeding. No, it's just wine.
Merlot.
So you've turned
Oh.
into a wino.
can I?
Yeah.
Can I continuously absorb the wine that's being into the room and just grow larger?
No,
I can't manipulate the wine either as an elemental.
no. That's not really a thing. You are now, you can now swim, essentially. You're not really at any danger of drowning because you can survive inside this wine.
But I can't bend it and move it.
No.
Bender.
Yeah.
Mind bend, all of this.
In
Part of
fact,
the
if you leave the wine without, leaving your wild shape, you will die. Or your wine weird would die, which means you would just lose your form. But
Yeah.
Why not have a look where the wine's coming from?
so
Yeah,
At that-
you can.
the strange thing, so Sansa, you see Gelrin wild shape into this wine weird, and at that same moment, also out of 3 of the 4 spouts, plops the exact same kind of a creature.
Oh, jeez.
It's getting
It's
weird.
not good. This isn't good, is it?
So Silver, it's your animals' turns. The crocodile, which is actually it's not very intelligent, but it sees these creatures appear, and it is going to try to attack the one closest to it.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine.
So it is going to attempt to bite it.
You're on mute, Colin.
Am
I
I?
hear you. Well, you
I hear
were.
you.
Oh. I'm sorry, Sansa, that didn't go entirely as planned, but we're still okay.
And it
Worth a
does
shot.
hit this wine weird, and it does some damage, but not very much. I mean, the bite goes through
Yeah.
the wine form. It does still do some damage, just not as much as if it was a solid sort of target. Anything for your other 3 animal companions out there?
Nope.
Okay. What about yourself?
I mean, there's nothing I can do at the moment, so I guess I'm just gonna keep chilling out and trying to figure out a way to get the door open.
Okay. Now the wine is up to 3 feet. So Sansa, your boots are now covered in wine, basically, like about a half a foot above the tomb that you're standing on, above the coffin. What would you like to do?
The gargoyle that didn't have something come out of it. Am I able to go inside it? Can I fit in it?
You probably have to move over there to have a better look.
Yeah, I'm gonna just kind of wade over there, I guess. Oh, hello. Oh, yeah, ruler. That's
You float, right?
Well, you're technically, 3 feet, you can still wade through the water, I would say. But I would say that your movement is...
trudging.
Yeah, that probably does... It's probably difficult terrain. So you get there with your full movement. It takes your full movement to get there. It looks like it is probably large enough to squeeze through. Like, it's 2 feet by 2 feet, so it's not great, but you're pretty slender. You could probably squeeze in there. The problem is that at this moment there's a significant amount of wine gushing out of it, so that would be a challenge. But size-wise, it would probably just be large enough.
Okay. I'm gonna cast Resilient Sphere on myself.
I get to put you in a bubble.
Yeah.
I think.
This is fun.
There we go.
You guys don't know what you're missing.
Yeah, I'm pretty
question.
sure.
With the sphere now, could I still fit inside the mouth? Or am I too spherical? Because objects can't pass through it, so it's like a ball.
I'm just checking. It's just large enough to contain the creature on the inside, so I would say yeah, it would still be you
Okay.
just fit through it.
Okay, that's it for me.
You wouldn't take any damage. You would have to deal with the force of the wine pushing against you too. It's like trying to push a marble through a hose of running water.
Running water.
Yeah. Scraps.
That's an image.
It really is. It truly is.
I want to go outside and test this.
Your wife's gonna get pissed because every faucet in the house has got like marbles jammed into it. It's like, I was testing something for D&D.
Oh, I have something that might help you, but shit.
God.
Second there was like, oh my god, who are you adding?
I forgot to add them to the initiative order.
Adding the weirdies.
Weirds. Weirdos. The one in the upper left is the thick wine weird.
Oh.
Good boy. When you were in this corridor earlier on, Val, you didn't see any pipes, you didn't see anything.
Nope.
Have you got who has the staff? Is it Sansa?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
I still don't even know what it does.
If you want, Sansa, I could follow in behind you and use and kind of push.
Okay. Can you wiggle in there since you're like a
Yeah, I can
liquidy
phase in. I can
creature?
phase. I can move in water like nothing.
Oh well. Okay. How about you just go in there and just tell me what's going on in the pipe, and then I'll follow.
I can do that.
guess.
I could push
You
you
guys
along,
fight
or
the
you can
things.
stay in here and fight these things.
True. Okay. Yeah, because
It's
I'll
up to
just.
you. I can push you along, or you can fight. But we got a gator. He's having a ball. He's probably plastered right now.
There's a
like he can
drunk
get out of this room.
crocodile.
What a way to
Well,
go.
it's your call on how you want to do that.
Is it worth fighting these? Do you think?
I don't.
If
think
we can
so.
just pursue a
I
way out.
think you should, but that's me. But you
Thank
can't
you,
hear me.
Silver, for your opinion. Did I hear that in my mind? Was that a message?
Honestly, I think overall, I think this is one of those traps that nobody was supposed to make it out of, and there's a way out, but I think it's one of those types of traps.
I just don't know if I want to try to kill all 3 of these things in here for no
Well,
reason.
there's 3 of you, so
True.
That's true. Well,
Depends on how weak they are, I guess.
well, based on my moveset,
Okay.
they grapple and constrict. So
I was gonna Misty step into the room, but then you said that, and I'm not sure.
Well, you can't
don't
see
think-
in the room.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, but I can
Same
Misty
again.
step in there and make sure you guys are okay.
wait, you can?
I can Misty step. Oh no, shit.
I thought you couldn't Misty Step.
No, you're right. I can't. Oh well.
Wait.
fuck. I'm getting confused.
You have to see where you're able to Misty Step.
Yeah.
But there's no open.
Okay. You know what? I'm going to try and make my way back to that statue and lob a fireball at it, because that's the only thing I can think left to do. So I'm gonna. Wait, I need to figure out my ruler. Move there. Okay. Alright. That's my turn.
So there you see that, to the right, and then that hallway is where you sort of came from. There's the stairs that lead up, and that hallway down to that devil face. And the hallway to the left goes to where that bronze plaque was, and then continues off to somewhere else that you haven't been yet.
Yeah.
All right. The thick
I literally
wine,
have no idea what else to do. so-
weird, is going to try to fight Gelrin in the same shape, which is going to be a
Brother.
weird fight because
Brother, wait.
A very weird fight.
it is going to make a
Same.
constrict attack.
But different.
Y'all look at each other like Spider-Man meme.
16 hits.
Still same.
You take 7 points of bludgeoning damage. And you are immune to being grappled. So that's it.
I guess we fight.
Valdemar.
I'm
you
going
have
to
like a-
run with scraps.
Do you have like a red liquid effect to throw over the floor? If not, don't worry about it. I was just curious. I
For
think
the
it would look
immersion.
cool. Yeah, immersion.
I mean, I can actually probably. Let's see.
A liquid-esque effect that has happened to be a hue of red.
I mean, I can certainly do red stuff. That's not red. I don't know. I guess not. I thought I could just make it red like this, but. Meh. So Valdemar, you're just using regular movement to follow.
Yes.
Okay. Gelrin.
Apparently, I'm fighting this bastard.
Oops.
Or what do you think, Sansa? Should I push you? Should we push through the pipe, or should we fight?
No. I kind of want to see where this pipe goes before.
All right, we're pushing through
I
the
get
pipe. I'm gonna
bombarded
take
with
the.
constructs.
I'm gonna let him take an attack of opportunity, and I'm a dash and pick and push her.
Unless you want me to just try to finagle my way through the pipe while you hold them back in here. I don't know. It'll just take me longer because I have to push through
Screw it. I'm gonna push you.
Okay.
Let's do it. I'm gonna
Pretend
go
you're
for
playing
her.
pinball and you're gonna hit me like one of those little boop.
And then that's an attack of opportunity, right? For that thing.
There we go. I made some red stuff.
Oh.
Hold on, I gotta see where I'm at. Okay, so this
Yes,
is where
it
I
is.
was. So that's 8 points.
No, it misses.
Oh, it misses? Sweet. Cool. Alright, so now wait, hold on. Alright. And then how much movement does this sucker have? Wait, I'm in water, or water.
60
so-
feet.
So I have 60 feet, so that is, I can do that's 10, it's 15 to her, and then 15, we can make it all the way to the elbow, pretty much.
Okay. Should I be doing anything
Well,
inside, like getting a running start or something?
I would say Gelrin, you can certainly move past Sansa and in there, but I don't think you could take her with you. Like, she could squeeze herself in there potentially on her turn. Like, for her, she's going to have to push against the flow of wine, which will require strength. So if you want to help her with that, you can move up to her and then use your action to help her, to assist her on her turn. But I don't think
Now
you
you
can
can
just
try.
roll her in there by yourself.
Maybe if you want to get closer to me, but then
If I
just
choose to fight, well, no, yes,
And-
screw it.
'cause
I'm just
I'll
gonna
have to
fight.
go in there first anyway. So
I'm just gonna. I'll fight. You go first. Swim. I'll fight.
Okay.
Okay.
That's miss.
Yep. Crocodile is just gonna
Thorn fights miss.
take another bite, I think. And it hits, and it takes half damage of that. Silver, you and your animal companions, anything?
I mean, there's nothing I can do. I can't like get into the
Like,
room.
Scraps and Valdemar, like, ran past you away from the door.
I guess we can follow them. Like,
Sure.
don't know what else to do, so let's go.
All right. This one, we're just going to try to constrict the crocodile.
I can't see in the room
18.
anymore.
18 hits. And this one is going to do the same thing. And that also hits. And you don't know it, but you feel this. You suddenly feel your loss of control over the crocodile.
No.
Wow, he died really quick, and this fight is going to take a long fucking time because we're half damage all the way.
All right, Sansa. So the wine is now up to 4 feet.
Fireball. Do the fireball or something.
Fireball against a big liquid creature.
So if you
Can I
wanted
try?
to squeeze yourself through that pipe, you have to make it requires a fair bit of strength. You can make an athletics check if you'd like to. You do
Am I
get
able to attack beforehand just to kind of get one little bit of damage off before?
I would say it's
Or
an
you don't count
action
it?
to
Oh.
try to do that.
Okay. So, gonna try to go up the pipe. Oh, sorry, what do I do again?
Athletics check.
Oh, athletics.
18. So I would say that, like, it is really, really tough going. You manage to sort of squeeze yourself into the opening of that pipe, but you're not able to make much progress further down. You do see that this pipe seems to go straight, and then there's a turn off to the left, which is where the wine seems to be flowing from. But there seems to be something beyond that. But it is like really, like it's going upstream against like raging wine. So, you know, the 18 is not gonna. You get the sense that even at your best, it would take you quite a while to try to push yourself through. You are quite intelligent though, so you would also know just like basic physics that once the wine has filled the chamber behind you, it would probably be easier to push through, just because then it's not streaming towards you anymore.
Okay. Can I still see out from the mouth where I'm at?
Yeah, I would say you're just like stuck in the opening at the very beginning there.
Okay. I'll stay here and wait for my turn.
Okay.
Because I can still hit them, right? From where I'm...
You could, yeah.
Okay.
Scraps.
Sounds like I'm gonna run.
I'm gonna
You gonna run? Okay.
move to here, which is 25. I want nope, not there. There. And I want to lob a produce flame right at this fucko.
Okay. So you fire this flickering flame down the hallway right into the mouth of this devil face stone relief. And it just gets swallowed up by the darkness in its throat. Like you see it disappear and just disappears into darkness.
Turn around to the others like my plan didn't work.
Good aim though.
I mean, it does sort of tell you that magic is that darkness is probably magical darkness, not natural darkness. Because if it was just dark, you would have expected the flame to light it up as it goes in, but it just got snuffed out, like disappeared.
Okay. Oh, that's me.
Okay. The thick wine weird is going to duke it out with Gelrin. Ooh, 24 for, I guess, 7. Yeah. Valdemar, over to you.
You want me to go punch it?
I mean, I don't know if that would be helpful. You might get swallowed up.
I want to run up this hallway to the point where I can't see the dead body anymore.
Okay.
And when I get up there, I want to look around to see if there's like anything at all, like a secret door, trap door, a button, anything that might open a lever, or open that stone, anything at all that's going to work.
Okay.
I mean, I'll
Make a perception check, because, I mean, movement is not an issue for you.
Jeez. I will use my inspiration on this.
Nice.
21. So you walk up, you notice Devlin's body disappearing. And you spend some time looking around, and what you begin to realize is that you probably stepped through some sort of a planar gate into some sort of mirror parallel reality. In fact, when you look around, you can see that a lot of the other hallways that you now see are identical to the ones you came from, but they're completely empty. There is no evidence of a ceiling block having come down, no evidence of your companions. It seems as if it is essentially a mirror copy of it that is empty.
Oh no.
But you also remember back to the fact that this is all about tricks and trickery, and you get this feeling that that is not a good place to be, and it is meant to confuse and distract adventurers and catch them out.
Amy just invited us.
Okay, then I'll come back down.
It's just gonna be.
And I will relay that to Silver, since he's right there.
Well, let me see what Amy has going on. Okay, because I think she's just playing for us. Okay, all right.
Okay, Gelrin.
I'm a run, so attack from opportunity. We'll go ahead and roll it.
You're running to me?
Yeah, it misses anyway.
Cool. And I'm gonna run. I can make it all the way up until about
If
here.
we can
I
hang
think.
out until the liquid
You can
rises
5,
wherever.
10, 15,
make it
20.
away.
Yeah, you can make it at least to there, maybe even a little bit further. Well, so actually, when you get to this point, can you move yourself in there, or do I have to do it? You might not. You might be too thick to
No, I
fit.
can't.
Okay.
Not quite as thick as the thick weird.
Thicker than a Snicker, heavy like a Chevy.
Did you say you can or you can't? Oh, you can't.
I can't move myself.
Okay. Like you're halfway in the wall. It's weird. You're in this small tunnel. What you do see is that there seems to be, first of all, right here at this point, this is as far as you'll be able to go because the wine dries up there.
Yeah.
That's as far as you can go as the wine weird.
Okay.
But you do see that this path here continues and seems to open up into something at the end, about 20 or 15 feet in front of you.
Okay. So am I past the point? So I'm at the point right now where I can't do anything. Like, I can't move any further as the wine weird.
Correct.
So can I move up a little bit more, come out of the wine weird shape?
Yes.
I don't think I used my action, so
You're...
now that's pretty much all I can do for my turn. Unless
Yeah,
can
you.
use
I
a
guess
bonus action to like set out a rope. Or is that like an
forward,
action?
like throwing it forward.
Yeah, throwing it towards her because it'll get picked up by the wine and she can grab it and then I can.
Oh, okay, sure.
I don't think I can grab it when I'm in my sphere.
You couldn't, no. But I mean, you
No.
can do that if you like. But yeah, it sounds like it's not going to go in the sphere. So.
You can't reach out of the sphere and grab it.
I realize I can't attack anything either.
It's
while I'm
like
in it.
you're
just kinda-
perfectly safe, but you're also in. Like, nothing comes in or out.
Okay, well then I will just stand by here. Wait.
Okay. Silver and your animals.
I mean, I still don't know what else we can do here, so like, we're just gonna chill out.
Okay, there is a whole hallway over here that you guys haven't gone down yet. But just saying.
Well, I guess
Past the plaque. I'm not saying that there's a solution there. I'm just saying there is a place you haven't gone to yet.
I'll just check down here just for whatever.
So you can see down to, the end of this corner there. And just at the corner of that, you see a somewhat familiar skeleton with something protruding out of its skull in some geometric shape. And as it sees you, it turns and books it off into the darkness around the corner.
Goddamn skeleton.
Okay.
All right, this
Well,
wine
there's no
weird.
skeleton.
I mean, these wine weirds, they can't really do anything to you, Sansa, but they are coming like up to you. at the corner there. And the wine is now up to 5 feet, and it's your turn.
Hey, I'm gonna push up the pipe, hopefully.
Okay, make
If I
a
can.
strength check.
Athletics.
Athletics.
Strength?
Yeah, athletics. Sorry. Don't think it matters for you actually, because your athletics is just 0. But 12. I would say you struggle to move at all this time. You are just kind of stuck there at the moment. You're perfectly safe, but you're also kind of stuck.
You can't be grappled in that either, can she?
No. Like, the wine weirds can't do anything to her. It seems like it is probably just a waiting game now for the wine level to
Yeah.
reach high enough that she can flow somewhere without having to fight upstream.
I would fight him while you're there.
I can't.
Well, find a way to fight them.
No in or out the ball.
Scraps.
This is my
Is the
safe
ball
space.
blocking?
Yeah.
Is the ball blocking the pipe?
Is it plugging it?
Not quite.
Oh.
I mean, it could. I
Kinda
don't. I
like
actually,
shit out the mouth.
actually feel like if it slowed the flow of wine, it would be detrimental to you being able to move through. Because at this point, you really want the room to fill with wine, so that you.
Yeah.
Because the one thing Gelrin will notice is that at a certain level, the wine will start flowing the other way, the way that Gelrin went, which will actually allow you to move more freely. Your biggest problem is that it's a pretty
There's
high
three
DC
things
to
behind us.
push against the flow of wine. So, Scraps, what would you like to do?
I was gonna try and use dispel magic on this thing, but I got a feeling that's not gonna work.
On what thing?
On the
I mean, you are pretty certain the darkness is magical, so
in for a penny, in for a pound. On the darkness and whatever else is happening down there.
So you do that, and the darkness does get dispelled and disappears, and you can't really see any difference because you're quite far away, so it's not like you're looking down the mouth to see what's on the other side now that the darkness isn't there. The only thing is that you notice is that there is a swarm of bats that flutters out of the mouth of this, and flies some
casual, it's fine.
15 feet towards you. Yeah, casual.
They're casually flying towards me. It's fine. It's just that attack tracking it.
The wine weirds are really out of things to do here at this point. They're just hanging around. Valdemar, so I guess you're probably more like over here, having done your little trip up and back.
Yep. I am going to, I heard Silver say about a skeleton, right?
A skeleton.
Yes.
Wait a second. Okay, so how much was that? It was 35. $50 will put me in front of Gelrin or Silver. And I don't see a skeleton? Nope.
No.
I will dash for my full action.
There you would just be able to see it.
Okay, so right there?
Yes.
Okay, all right, and that's where I'll stop.
And from there you can see that this skeleton has got a square sort of shape on top of its skull.
Oh, okay.
You still have the
will
skull from the other one, don't you?
I think Silver has it.
Or Silver has
No,
it.
I don't have it.
Somebody does. I think it was you, Valdemar. You
Okay,
separated it
that's
from.
right, I have it, yeah.
That one had a triangular, like a triangle, This one has a
Okay.
square.
All right. I'm just gonna. I don't have an action left, and I can outrun him. So I'm just going to keep an eye on him, and I'll pursue him further wherever he goes.
All right, Gelrin, you are now back in dwarven form. In sort of, you know, it's quite tight in there. Like you're not as slender as Sansa,
Yeah.
but you're fairly small. But it's it's not a very comfortable
Can
spot.
I see the opening where the wine is funneling out?
Well, it's not funneling out in that direction just
Well,
yet,
where-
but it does
Can I
go.
see this? Can I see
Oh,
like,
yes.
where the wall,
Yeah.
the wall gaps?
Yeah, sort of.
Can I see it well enough to do something to it?
It is fully submerged in wine, basically. Like the way that this tunnel goes, it goes up a little bit to about here, and then from here it's higher than there, and it then goes further down in that direction. Slopes
So
down.
I couldn't cast like a wall of stone here to plug it.
Oh, you probably could.
Okay. Well, that's what I want to do. To plug it, and that'll make it so it's easier for her to climb up, and there won't be any wine in here, so they can't follow.
Yeah, I mean, true, mostly true. Eventually, that chamber would fill up with wine entirely, and some wine might come out, but it would certainly stop the flow of wine that's currently preventing Sansa from making it through that
Yeah.
pipe. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna like put it. For all intents and purposes, it's
Yep.
it's 100 feet.
Yeah, you're just plugging that
But
hole, basically, right?
I'm just gonna put it right there.
Little
Sounds good. Yeah, so that plugs that, so the flow of wine from there stops. Yep, that's good. You still have movement if you want to use it.
Sansa. Seek refuge.
Hamster ball.
Do you want to move?
Super Monkey Balls theme song. Oh, do I want to move? No, I'm gonna move up a little bit so that she has room.
Okay.
Wait for her before I go any further.
Sounds good. Silver.
I guess I'll just go follow Mel. Yep, that's what I'll do.
Let's assume that you could actually technically get past him, right? I think.
Yeah, I could. Yeah.
Okay, so you also see this directionless skeleton that's sort of running away from you guys. In fact, it probably gets to move a little further at this point.
I'm just picturing Val walking, like catching up to it, hitting his fists against the railing, and then Silver right behind him with like some freaking Coke bottles, like, "Come here, skeleton, come out and play."
One thing that as you cross around that corner where you and Valdemar are now, you do see Silver. Valdemar can't see quite that far, but Silver, you can see the end of this hallway here, and then there's stairs here going down. But there's also some sort of a door on the left-hand side here, and you have good passive perception, so you actually start hearing these guttural moans coming from that door.
Whoa. Not opening that door.
Have a do not disturb sign.
I'm just gonna remove the wine weirds from the,
Sounds of bones clanking together.
because they're not really
Knocking
doing
bones.
anything.
Yeah, they can't really do anything.
No, this swarm of bats is going to attempt to bite Scraps, though. It just kind of flutters towards her. 21.
Shit. What is that?
And that is 6 points of damage. All right, Sansa.
Scraps is gonna become a vampire.
So there's now like a small layer of wine in that pipe, but it is no longer streaming towards you, and you are not being impeded to make any progress. So you can now move your normal movement through
Oh.
that.
I'm gonna move all the way up till I can collide with the wall, apparently.
Yeah, this might be a little tough. There we go. I'll just somewhere in there.
Okay. Is it steep? Do I have to like try not to slide down, or?
It's not that steep. It is sloped down a little bit, but not to the point where like you're squeezed in there pretty tight anyway. It's not. Scraps.
I would like to. Hit the casual cloud, or the casual swarm of bats with Lord Stabbington. Oh wait, Lord Stabbington has. Look, I'm using Lord Stabbington. Never mind.
Oh, it is very difficult to stab a swarm of fluttering bats. So you do stab into it, but everything just goes flutters around it.
I take it as a bonus action. I can't just set them on fire.
Bonus action set on fire.
Just Scraps like, stop it. Go.
But like, can I use a cantrip to just be like, fuck off?
I mean, you can evoke that flame blade as a bonus action, but you can't attack with it yet.
All right. Well, I'd like to take it out and just like, I'm not hitting them, but I'm just waving it
Sure,
like a giant bug swatter. Like.
sounds good.
Intimidation tactic.
Yeah, exactly.
Valdemar.
Can I see where that skeleton went to?
I mean, it went straight. It's probably just outside of your vision because it's dark, and you do have that light, but it doesn't go quite that far. But it went down the hall, and you can move and then see more. So, as you get to in front of that door on your left there, like you're running, you're moving past it after the skeleton. Suddenly, there are some holes in that wall. And these 3 humanoid heads stick out of the hole, each covered in putrid flesh and gnashing on an iron bit chained to a bolted to a chain bridle, and they're trying to like gnaw at you, just sticking through these holes in the wall, kind of.
I ain't got time for you, Karen.
Now,
No, I don't want to buy any.
They're clearly zombie heads that they're like sticking out.
I am going to get up behind that skeleton and punch him. Try to get that head off so I can.
Okay.
I have an idea. You want me to roll
Try to get
attack?
that head
Yeah.
off.
Oh, hey, Sansa.
Hey,
You made it.
I tap you on the shoulder. Hey,
Hey, you're here.
20.
Sorry, I
That
couldn't
will kill
reach
it.
Okay.
okay,
And
right.
You got room in that ball?
I want to take that head off.
Okay. Yeah. Easily enough, it actually like pops off as you punch it into pieces. It just crumbles, and the head just falls off to the side.
I'm gonna take that head off.
Pop
No.
right off.
So, okay. So I don't have an action left. Okay. So I'm going to hold the first skeleton in my right hand, his head, the second skeleton's head in my left hand,
Okay.
and turn around to face Silver.
I thought he was gonna make him kiss.
Now kiss. And tell Silver, I think this might be the clue to open the door for Sansa and Gelrin.
Could be.
That's my, because I have no other action left.
Okay. That takes us over to Gelrin in the pipe there.
I was thinking, send him like a wave or something. Be like, hey, we're fine. Everything's fine.
Well, I think at
How
this
are you?
point they don't know. I mean, I would assume that they think you're still stuck behind the door. They probably don't even. They don't even know that there was wine that started flowing into it.
Okay, can I like? I'm like standing in the opening, but I can't see anything Like here, can I
let me just
see
move you there,
this?
so-
Okay. Oh,
So this chamber reeks of sulfur and brimstone. On the floor of this chamber in the middle is a pentagram traced in salt that surrounds an ornate sarcophagus, its lid covered with figurines of prancing frog-like humanoids.
What did the thing say?
Only
Only a jewel can tame the frog. Oh, sorry.
a jewel. Do you have? Sansa, do you have any jewels?
I think it's probably a specific one.
No. Well, found a sarcophagus. Smells like 4th of July up in here. You know, that's an important holiday somewhere.
For the what?
Yeah, 4th something, I don't know. 4th of Thursday or something, I don't know.
Thursday.
Thursday.
Smells like a
Who are
Thursday
I'm just
you?
waiting for Sansa.
You're
Of the midwinter.
you're inhabited by the spirit of Obolaka, right?
Yeah.
So
I am.
you get this message of,
He's talking right now.
I think, more salt. Add more salt.
More salt.
What
It
did
will
you say?
it will keep us safe. More salt.
So you
More
need the
salt.
internet.
Do I need like?
Yeah.
but do I need kosher salt, Himalayan salt,
That's all you
No,
got.
you need more salt.
more salt? I mean, we got cooking stuff. Hey, both chefs are here.
Just
I'm
start
just
running
gonna-
in place and sweating real hard, and then go like, salt!
Start crying.
Gross, but all right.
Ring about your beard.
Oh, you have true sight?
Yes, I do have true sight. I've always had true sight. What do you mean?
At least since the no eyeball.
What type of bullshittery do my eyes discern?
Well, I would assume that whatever you see, you would share with Sansa.
Absolutely, of course. Why wouldn't I?
So you actually see inside of that pentagram is an invisible creature that looks like that,
Hey, looks like a Pokemon.
and it's
Damn,
just it's just like pacing around inside this pentagram.
Greninja, what happened?
Yeah.
All right, well, there's an invisible frog man. Just you know.
Man.
All right, I'll just wait for you to get in here with me, so I'm good.
Okay,
Oh,
over to Silver.
Still an initiative.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just gonna chill right here and wait for Val to come back with the heads.
Okay, so you also would have seen the three zombie heads
Yeah.
sticking out of there.
I'm just gonna stay right here. I'm not gonna deal with those zombie heads right now.
Okay, the bats are going to take another bite out of Scraps for 6 points of piercing damage.
Cute.
Sansa, I assume you want to move through, because I
Yeah,
think I need to. I'll drag you in here behind Galrin.
When
I
she
don't
gets
have
in
any
here, I'm
system.
going to relay my info, and I'm gonna tell her to kneel down a little bit because I'm short, and I'm gonna pick my arm and put it next to her head and point where the thing is, and follow it with
Okay.
my finger. There's an invisible thingy.
did you tell me about the salt?
Oh yeah, the god in my head said more salt.
The
more
other
salt."
one, not the first god.
What first god?
The second. Oh wait, the one that took your eyeballs.
Oh, not that god.
Okay, not
No,
that
no,
god.
no.
The other one. Oh.
Yeah, this one, the one that I got here.
This-
Yeah, he said
this one.
more salt. More salt is safe, but he's
We
also
should trust this
he's-
one.
he's also
Why?
very very nervous and stuff. But that could just be his way. Is the more salt we have, the less likely he's gonna break the salt ring. So that doesn't really help us. I think he's just telling us more salt to, you get where I'm going with this.
To make us less safe? I don't.
No, it makes more salt.
More salt.
make us
for us.
safe. Yeah.
You put it around us? Is that what we want to do? Because I have some salt.
I mean, I have salt too,
Oh, okay.
but
No, you're.
I'm not sure.
Something.
But this looks like a frog creature thing, and that kind of rings a bell on that plaque thing.
Right. Something about a jewel.
Yeah, jewel. I mean, we could try and talk to the thing
Jewels.
and ask him like, hey, what jewel do you like?
I mean, if you can talk to it, I can't even see what you're talking
What's your birthstone?
Hey, stop that. Star fallen.
about. Starfall. Oh, right.
Oh.
May.
Are you staying in your bubble?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, you
Doesn't
have
look
salt?
like-
You want to?
I mean,
you
I
can
have
put
I
your own
have,
salt.
cook,
in.
I have
don't
cooking
need-
I have cooking utensils, but
I mean, I have a literal bag of salt. Do you want it, or we need it?
I don't know. We'll come back to that. Come the next round.
Well, I'm going now.
Oh, I don't
I mean-
know. He wasn't specific.
Sansa, you would just sort of inherently know that this is pretty clear that the salt circle is meant to keep this creature contained inside of it. And with
there's already a salt.
there's
circle,
already
so
salt
yeah.
there. It's, I mean, you know, this god that's inhabiting Gelrin is just overly cautious. It's just like, it could probably use some more salt, just to make sure there's enough salt.
Right.
Thing is, you won't leave. I might as well help you out.
Now he's decided to be useful.
I guess I'm just gonna wait to see what happens, because I
Yeah.
can't attack anyway without taking the
All right.
concentration off.
So Scraps, you're dealing with this
Flame blade.
pesky casual swarm of bats.
I don't consume a spell slot because it's already out. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, you already. Yeah, it's already out. A 13 that hits. Ooh, 14 fire damage. It will take all of that, and it is. It's badly injured. Like, the swarm is significantly sparser now. There are some bats that have sizzled and sort of flopped to the ground. There's a lot less of them there now.
Yes.
Nice roll. Valdemar?
I am going to insert the key into the lock.
What do you mean? They don't, like... Let me show you guys an image of what these things look like. Because they don't, like, fit together like that.
What about where the three heads, the three putrid Karens are?
Those are zombies.
Three putrid zombies, Karens.
What about
boss
them?
The boss babes. They're poking their heads out of three holes in the wall. Yeah.
Whoa.
Oh dang.
So they look like that, and there's a bit of a clue in this image.
It's his front teeth, isn't it?
No. It's the shapes on their neck, or the symbols. Maybe.
So there doesn't seem to be, like, any specific way that those two connect to each other, Valdemar?
Okay. The one in the middle has a 2 on its neck.
It does.
And the one next to it has a 5.
Where?
See, in between his hair, on the right side, there's a number 5 in it. And the one directly to the right of the 2.
I admit I'm not seeing either number, but
I'm not seeing either number.
I see the 2, but I don't see the 5.
Wish I could ping it.
which one has the 2?
Here, I'll.
The one
send
in the
it-
middle.
I'm gonna put it in the Discord.
Oh, I think that's just hair. I think that's just moss.
I don't know. It looks like a number 2 to me. I don't see the 5 though.
Oh, yeah. See, you don't see the 2?
Yeah, but see, I'm talking about the like one that's
The-
got a square, like the fourth one has a square. The one on the very right has a triangle.
Yeah.
I'm saying those are the shapes of their head of the keys.
I will be right back. I'm going to take a quick bathroom break while you think about that.
Okay, when you come back, Chuck, can you put that picture up in Discord?
Let me just give you permission. It will be in the journal. Now you can look at it there.
We'll also screenshot it and put it in Discord.
Skeleton keys. That's funny.
Ah. Ah.
Yeah.
Yuck yuck.
Yeah, I think we might be finding numbers where there are no numbers.
Yeah, that's
Yeah. The shape at the back of the room, up at the ceiling, that's nothing to do with it. No, that's just me being silly. I'm getting tired, so it's kind of hard to focus.
Hold on. I'm gonna edit it.
So do we need to get 5 keys? I'm also going to take a quick bathroom break.
I'm back. The clue I was referring to in the image is like really high level. It's not a detailed thing at all.
So it's like a super IQ clue.
Like it is a really basic clue. Right now you have 2 keys.
We need 5.
That's the clue. Is that there's 5 in the picture. So
yeah, but they're also different shapes though.
that's true. They are different shapes. You have triangle and square so far.
See that 5 though?
But it's nothing to do with it.
Illuminati
That's just like
confirmed.
moss and like hair and stuff.
I'm gonna be honest with you, it looks more like a G to me, but that
The mind
I don't have
sees
my-
what it wants to see.
Yeah, I don't have my glasses on, but to me that looked like a 5. Okay, so we got to get 3 more.
yeah.
Illuminati confirmed.
Okay, I don't. All right, so we need to get 3 more keys.
Yep.
Do these zombies sticking their head out? Do they resemble any of those? Faces?
No, those look those look like zombies, not skeletons.
Okay, so then I am going to run down the steps looking for another skeleton. Do I see one down here?
No, not immediately. You see another balcony that goes around, very similar to what you've seen so far. And at the bottom of the stairs, you see a large hallway leading off to the left. This is clearly another level of this tomb, but you don't see a skeleton immediately.
Okay. Well, that's my action. Okay. That's it.
The one thing you do notice that level is very different looking. Again, like the first level had a lot of flora and fauna and just like stuff growing. The second level has all these weird carved in devil's faces and stuff. This third one has like purple mold sprouting from the walls and ceilings and smells very moldy and rotten. Occasionally there's these clouds of spores popping out of the walls, and there's tiny little eyeballs emerging from the mold that seem to look at you as soon as you get down to that level.
Gosh, it's reminding me of that plant thing in Labyrinth.
Oh,
Plant with the eyeballs that follow her.
All right, Galvin, what are you doing?
I'm gonna shimmy around over her and kind of look around. Do I see anything along
Make
the
a
walls?
perception check. Seven. Not particularly.
What if I like ding my
nothing
hammer
wrong.
against the wall? Anything sound?
Does it see you?
It can't. It's not leaving the circle. It knows we're here. I can almost guarantee you.
Oh,
knows
it
we're
is.
here.
It is definitely following you around, but it knows it cannot leave the circle.
Don't touch the salt.
Where you are standing, you get like a very faint. For a split second, you rolled a 7, so your perception is pretty low, but you get the sense that for a second there was a small draft coming from the wall.
Reinforce the salt circle.
Yes. I mean, I will not do
We don't
anything.
need any drafts.
No, we do not.
Got any glue? Glue it down.
Just wood glue and some
Yeah.
The movie The Craft would be very different with you guys.
Does as a bonus action, can I try and commune with the beast? Can I like try and talk to it, or like does it seem receptive to?
It does not. It doesn't seem like it's a
Just
beast.
kind of
It's
looks at me angrily and
yeah.
grins his teeth at me.
It's not technically a beast.
It's certainly not human. All right, well, I guess I'm just gonna sit right here. I'm good then.
All right, Silver.
I'm gonna walk up and can I just like chop one of the zombies' heads? Like,
You probably could. Make a perception check. Like the zombies are kind of, their heads are sticking out. It's trying to like gnaw at
Yeah,
you,
like-
but it is clearly not able to. You do notice that those zombies seem to be chained up to some sort of a pulley that is bolted to the ceiling in that room. And the door looks extremely heavy, like a kind of door that you wouldn't be able to open on your own.
but I can still attack the zombies, right?
You could.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Okay. 11 hits, 9 points of damage.
Attack again.
Oh, 26. Another
Are you swinging at the heads on the door?
Yeah.
another 9. It is almost chopped to pieces. Like you cut its jaw off and half of its face has been severed.
Nice. I'll take that.
All right. Oh, the bats.
The bats were dead.
No, just most of them.
mostly
It
dead.
does 2 points of piercing damage to you because it is severely fewer bats there now. Over to Sansa.
I'm going to walk over to where I'm told this frog creature is.
I'm pointing at it.
Okay. I'm going to take out the staff that we found earlier, and I want to see if there's any reaction to it.
So you just showing it the staff?
Yeah.
No, doesn't seem to have any effect.
Okay.
Do you have anything else that's pretty shiny?
Just the jewel on my hat that lights the way. Well, I assume we might have to just fight this thing. I don't want to do it with just the two of us.
Yeah, I really don't either.
I-
That's why.
Is there a way out of here?
I perceived barely a draft, but I am afraid if I find where the draft is coming from and we open the door, the salt is going to go, and then we're just going to have to fight it anyway.
Yeah. All signs are pointing to fighting this thing anyway.
Did you
Maybe, but
did you describe to Sansa what this thing looks like?
it kind of looks like a frogman. Would that be an accurate description?
Men?
Frogman.
Well, how bad could that be?
It's a bipedal. He looks really yoked.
Oh man, he's swole.
I would
Thick
definitely
boy?
say he's large, right?
No, medium.
He's a medium size. What, about the size of Greenbone?
Yeah, like a big medium.
Yeah, a biggium.
A biggie.
Sansa, you would, based on the description, you would think that it might be something called a slad.
What's a slab?
Do I consult my notes?
Yeah, which is like,
Oh, I got Volvo's Guide for Monsters.
that's right. It's an aberration of some kind. It's actually a shapeshifter or shape changer. But the one thing that stands out to you that sort of relates to that clue is that they are typically controllable by a control gem.
I'm gonna relay this to Gelrin. Do I know how control gems work?
You basically, whoever possesses that, can control that creature. You remember that control thing you had
Yeah.
for a construct? This is similar, but in the sense that this is a magic control gem that's implanted in the Slad's brain.
And the other gem.
The
Oh.
other gem is
Wherever.
needed to control it. Whoever
Okay,
has
so-
that can, like, there is a risk that the gem will break and not cause a proper reaction. Like, it doesn't work 100% of the time, but somebody with enough arcana skills is usually able to control them that way.
Okay.
So what
So
you're
we would
telling
have
me
to
is
find
that
this gem.
I'm almost willing to bet an entire night at the tavern. No, an entire weekend at the tavern that the gem is in that sarcophagus.
Well, that's just a cruel trick. If that's the case.
So two things I think we could do. Either we can open, or not even so much open a hole in the wall where this draft is supposedly coming from and push on and hope that it doesn't blow the salt out of the way. Or since I can see it, I can have it follow me to the lower point of the room and you sneak into the sarcophagus and see if the thing's in there.
Well, it can only travel to so far in the circle, right?
Yes.
I would just have to enter
But
the
if
circle.
but if its attention is focused on me, or if you want to play bait,
Mage hand.
yeah. Oh yeah, that's an idea too.
Well-
I could get his attention. You can just mage hand the shit.
I don't know if mage hand can move a sarcophagus lid.
Probably not.
Pounds or something. Yeah.
It can lift some things, but it's like 5 pounds or 10 pounds or something. Nothing too heavy.
Like 10 pounds.
Damn. that sarcophagus lid, it's got to be a solid 11 pounds. Just
Right.
1 pound over.
Just our
So-
luck.
So
Okay,
we can
well-
do that. I can lead him to the other end of the room and kind of just like put on a show for him if you want to. You're covered in your ball, so you can.
Yeah.
But you can
Covered in
do
balls.
the-
All right.
We-
Yeah.
we
You
can
want to
do that.
try it?
Yeah, we can
Worth
try
a
that.
shot because I am
Yeah.
in the ball still. So.
But can you do
Well,
anything with the ball?
Oh, I can't. Oh yeah, I can't do anything with the ball. I'd have to drop it.
You're gonna have to come out of the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless I push the ball into the lid and then push that somehow, which I don't think it's gonna work.
You just take a running start at everything, just roll into things.
Just smack into it.
Could you set up a tiny hut inside like at the sarcophagus with the sarcophagus inside tiny hut?
That's $1 million idea right there.
I did that.
The tiny hut meta.
Tiny hut around the sarcophagus in the pentagram circle.
Yeah.
Will that work, DM?
I don't think so.
Oh wait, I don't even have my. I don't have it. Never mind. Tiny hut.
So
Uh,
I think we
alright.
should. I can lead it to the other end of the room and try and keep its attention. And
Well, I can walk into the circle with the ball, but I'll have to drop concentration to.
better
do
be careful
anything.
walking in that circle not to brush up that salt. Otherwise, we're
Should
in
I
for
even
it.
do this then? Because
I
I'm gonna
think-
drop the ball over the sand. Or the
Are
salt.
you protected inside the circle?
Probably not.
What do you mean protected inside the circle?
I mean, if you're going inside the circle, that thing turns around and it goes for you.
How much salt do you have?
Baggy.
How big's a bag?
Small bag of salt.
So like size of like
Oh,
my
pizza
hand.
bag.
I don't know what small.
I was gonna say you
is.
could sprinkle the salt in your hand and make a trail.
That
Just
could be a
loop
circle.
around myself as I walk over to.
All right. Here's
Okay.
my- I have an idea. Do you have a hula hoop?
I like where
I'm
your
surrounded in
head's
a big
at.
ball though.
I like where your head's at.
Yes. We gotta do something.
I got it. No, I got it. We have water. We have salt, and I have a rope. We could soak the rope in salt water.
I don't know if it still acts as salt
Yeah, probably
barrier
not.
at that point.
Yeah, probably not. No, probably not. I think we should just.
How heavy was the sarcophagus lid in the other room? I mean, I know you were full of confidence.
Well, that one was a hinged lid. This one doesn't
Oh.
seem to have a hinge like that. They're usually fairly
I-
heavy.
I don't want to try to push it and then do nothing and then be stuck in a pentagram with this frog guy without my ball.
Unless you want to distract him, and then I could sneak in there.
Okay.
I mean, he seems to have his sights set on me because I can see
I
him.
can't see him, so I just have to hope it's working.
Yeah.
So yeah. Or we take our chances with the crack in the wall and you just disrupt Earth. I will put salt reinforcement on the circle.
Good idea. This is tough. I feel like let's deliberate this more, and we'll put our turn on pause.
Okay, so what?
Can I hold my turn?
Yeah, what are Scraps, Valdemar, and Silver doing out
Yeah.
here?
I want to finish off these fucking bats.
Okay. I think it's safe to assume that you'll be able to, whether it is with this one hit or the next one. Like, there's very few left of them. That'll do it. Singe the rest of them.
I think I pick up one of the bats and just like chew on it a little bit.
Because it's roasted.
Yeah. And so I make my way across to the others.
Okay. What about you, Valdemar?
Does this stairwell?
That's where you
Down.
came down. That's where you came from. That's up to level 1.
Okay. So if I keep going, will I find another stairwell going down, or am I on the bottom floor?
You would have to spend some time moving around to look for that. You can do that if you want.
I will do that,
Okay.
or until I encounter another skeleton. And these 2 skeleton heads I will have stuffed them into my backpack.
Just imagine you walk around.
So this is what you see down here now, Valdemar. So you kind of see a hallway off to the left, and then the path continues that way and curves around to the right. Very similar. If you look over the railing to your right, you see that it is open to below, some distance further down. So there is at least, well, it's hard. You can see one other level below that, but it is dark below that, just like it was before. So you're not sure if there's more, but you are definitely not at the bottom here.
Okay. Then I will go here. See nothing. That's what, 20, 45. 50.
Okay, so actually over here, the one thing you would have noticed is in these alcoves are 2 creatures that look like this. Are you being stealthy down there? Probably not, because you didn't say
No,
so.
not at
So
all.
those 2 statues begin to move and try to attack you.
Let's go, boys. I came here to kick ass and chew gum, and I'm all out of asses. Wait, what?
They each make 2 slam attacks against you.
Okay.
They are some sort of metal construct, as you saw in the image, quite heavily armored.
Ooh. Ooh, they both hit.
That was a natural
Third
one.
misses. And the 4th one misses.
Yeah, so you take 27 bludgeoning damage.
Okay. 27?
Yeah.
Okay. 81. Okay.
And I'll say
turn?
that, yeah, I'd say you still have your action.
Okay. This one is I'm gonna punch this one in front of me.
Okay.
$23 and a 19. 24 and a 19.
Yep, they both hit.
Do they take fire damage?
They do.
Okay. 19 and 20, 23,
Mhm.
42 points.
Yep.
And I will spend a key point and do flurry of blows. On the same one.
You notice that, yeah, they both hit.
35 total.
Okay. That one is nearly dead. Yep.
Okay.
All right, that's your turn.
That's my turn.
Let's pull the stream back up here. Silver, are you doing anything else with these zombies?
I'm gonna finish them off. Finish the zombies off.
Okay.
Kick their ass,
Blah blah
Seabass.
blah 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 blah. Ooh, maybe.
That one misses.
That's a hit.
That one definitely hits. And you, as you kill this one zombie here, you notice that the chain it was connected to goes limp, obviously, and falls to the ground.
Yeah.
And now there's only 2 chains connected to them and via a pulley to the
Chains.
door, by the looks of it.
Did I notice if the door moved at all? Like.
No, it did not.
Hmm. Okay. Guess we will take a zombie out next round. Take another one out. Just
Okay. So we'll just do the initiative between like the three out there, or two, like Scraps and Silver and Valdemar downstairs, and now back to the room with the Slad and Galrin and Sansa. What do you guys want to do? We can just do you guys like together, depending on what you want to do here.
So, do you think I can't see him because he's in the circle, right?
No, he's just invisible.
He's just in.
He's
oh.
invisible.
Oh.
I mean, I could. Wait a minute.
Can I
could
dispel magic?
I can polymorph him.
Okay. What does that entail?
I can turn him into a chicken, then we can open the shit up.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I could banish him, but I'd have to see him.
Oh, yeah. I don't think I have
Then I
anything.
could banish him, and then we'd have enough time to open the thing, and then he'll come back once I drop concentration.
You could do that.
But we could have the jewel by then, hopefully, and control him. But I need to be able to see him, so
I can
if
hit
he's
him with a-
invisible with magic, I could dispel magic. Or is he invisible for some other reason? Like,
Yeah.
because
Is he invisible from? What is it? How? Yeah. What is that?
I don't think you would know why he's invisible. He's just
Yeah, that's
invisible.
true. The only way that I could make him visible is if I hit him with a moonbeam. No, guiding bolt. Guiding bolt, not moonbeam.
do that.
I hit him with a guiding bolt, make them all shiny, and then you
True.
technically should be able to do your thing, right? Yeah.
I would think so.
DM rule check.
On
Is
my
that, is
turn,
that
so
allowed?
you'll have to do it first.
What are you trying to do?
Yeah. So if I hit it with guiding bolt and make it shiny,
And
is
then
that-
I hit it. I
and
should be
then
able
she
to
can
see
hit
it because it's shiny, and then I can hit it with
Sure.
banishment.
Yeah, that's fine. We can do that.
Okay.
that's if I can hit it with guiding bolt.
Big money.
Come on, Galrin.
I believe in you.
You got this.
Gotta use the lucky
Let's
dice.
do- Yeah. and just because I'm gonna go for because I just need to hit it, right? I don't need to do anything special. Like I don't need to go for damage, big numbers. I just gotta hit it.
I just need to be able to see it.
Okay, so let's give it a whack. First level guiding bolt. Oh God.
It's a little rusty with those. It doesn't hit anywhere near.
What do
You have a guiding bolt?
I do, but I'd have to wait around. I'm just trying to see if I could cover it in something that we could see. Glitter or something. I don't.
glitter.
Glitter. You know, the herpes of craft supplies.
Yeah, right. Fucking
The
true.
herpes of craft supplies. Oh my god.
The Dimitri Martin joke. I can't take credit for that.
It's absolutely true though.
It's 100% fucking true.
Oh my
Fucking
god.
hate
No.
glitter with passion, like.
But what am I trying to do? Just
God, I wish I had that alchemist pot that Scraps had. I would just fill the bitch up with paint and just, just
I
throw
do still
it.
have that.
Well, she's also got the ink one too. No, Sansa's got the ink one.
but the inkwell.
Oh, throw
But
some ink at him.
does it work like that?
Well,
I don't
It's
see why
never.
not.
It never empties.
you could.
True.
The problem is first you have to drop the bubble, then you have
I
to.
would, yeah, I would do it anyway because I have to.
You'd have to. You make the attack with disadvantage because you can't see. Like you would throw it in the
You, like,
general
point at
direction.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's
That's
try
better.
that. I'm gonna drop the concentration.
Okay, so this is what I'm gonna do.
Let's
You're
flash
gonna-
some ink on the guy.
You're gonna get set to throw it. I'm gonna put my arm on your shoulder, pointing right where it's at. Okay?
Okay.
And then you're gonna
What?
yeet it.
Oh, I'm not throwing it. I'm gonna throw the ink out of it.
Oh, that worked.
Yeah.
Make the thing.
So
Splash it.
Yeah.
just make a dexterity check with
She's gonna ink 'em.
disadvantage. So 2 of them, I guess, or with
Okay.
disadvantage.
Ooh.
It does not quite hit it. Like, you throw it in the direction that Galvin is pointing at, but you're not entirely sure if you're not hitting it or what, but you don't see any, like, ink splotches appear.
Well, I guess that's it till next turn.
Okay, so let's go back down to Valdemar real quick. I just realized I left you down there the whole time. Okay, Valdemar. Those guys will attack you again. You notice that the one that you hit last round, is attacking you now with disadvantage for some reason.
Good. Good.
So that misses.
That misses. 19.
Right. So both of those miss. The other one does not do disadvantage. That's a
Hit.
26, and that misses. So 17 points of bludgeoning damage.
17. Was it? I'm too pretty to do math. Okay. Okay, I got it. All right. Unarmed strike on the one that is damaged. (24 and 17).
Yep, they both hit.
26
And
total.
26 total will kill that one.
Okay, and I'll spend a key point and do flurry of blows on the other one.
Okay.
(24 and 21).
Both hit.
21, 28, 36 points.
Mm-hmm. Is injured.
Okay.
Okay, so back to Scraps and Silver. Let's do Scraps first.
Scrap's gonna make her way downtown. Moving fast.
Aces pass and you're homebound.
Exactly. And are there, how many zombies are left?
There are two sticking their head out the.
Alright. Can I use my Thorn Whip? If I use my Thorn Whip, do I hit Silver?
No, I think you can probably avoid him. Good duck.
Duck, I'm Indiana Jones in this.
I'm gonna get you a fedora next town we go to.
Oh yeah, that hits. He will take 11
And
points of
also
damage.
hoping to- I'm also hoping that because they're being pulled through the thing, that it's also like separate them like cheese.
Yeah, a little bit, like very gross, disgusting, sort of moldy zombie
Yeah.
cheese. What about you, Silver?
I'm gonna sword. That one didn't die, did it?
Correct.
Alright. I'm gonna sword him. Ah.
Oh, he's dead now.
Nice.
He's dead now. Ah.
So you notice
Right,
that as
right.
you kill this one, the chains go even slacker as there's now only one zombie connected to the door.
Alright, I'm gonna,
Can you and Scraps both make an intelligence check?
Beer.
big brain.
Little brain.
So
Beautiful.
Scraps thinks this is a great idea, what you're doing here.
You're doing a great job, Silver.
He's supervising.
It's my job.
Silver, you're not so sure, though.
That took the
Making it
wind
still
out of his
feels
sails.
the heart of men.
Suddenly.
Interesting.
If you have a closer look at the the mechanics between the pulley, the chain, and the zombie, and the whole door mechanism, it seems to you that getting the zombies to pull on the chain away from the door would raise it.
Okay.
So reanimate a couple of these fuckers and let's go.
Well, I can't reanimate him. Like,
Oh my God, what kind of warlock are you?
He's not a necromancer.
Well,
Yeah, I'm actually.
did you
considering
just
that-
happen to just skip over that booth during career day?
I'm not
Can-
gonna lie. I'm considering fucking necromancer the next time I play. the next
Can
character I play.
can the magma imp, can he go through the hole in the wall?
Yeah, I would say that he probably could. He's small. Send him through there.
And he can kind of get the zombies' attention to the other side.
Okay.
Can't I see in there because of my conjuring animals?
Well, technically you could if I give you some control over this.
Like,
There goes that surprise.
No, it's just
Like
because.
we're not going to Disneyland.
Is it this one? I don't know. It doesn't look like you can see that. Maybe this isn't the right one. I mean, theoretically, yes, but it just doesn't seem to be working. Sure, I don't know if it's this one. But let me. It's not this one.
not even if you give me control over him.
Well, that's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah. I just realized that Grace lad is sassy.
Yeah, he's sassy boy. Or girl, I don't know. I haven't really spent enough time with him to know.
I don't know why it doesn't. I've made you. It's just not doing it.
Oh, there it goes.
You can see now.
Yeah.
Okay, so you move that magnet in there. This zombie does sort of try to chase it a bit, and you notice as it's doing that, it's pulling a little bit on the, and the door is nudging up just ever so slightly off the ground.
Okay.
You are not sure though if one zombie is enough to lift that now.
It's gonna be enough, yeah. Fuck.
Let's go back to Sansa and why can't I see that now? Sansa and Galvin.
Here we are again, Sansa.
And prestidigitation make glitter.
I don't see why not.
Hey.
Oh, we're getting somewhere.
I'm
Let's
gonna.
I mean, it says a shower of sparks, which is basically glitter, right?
Sparkles! Yes. Oops.
do it. Do the thing.
Okay, well, you're gonna have to guide me toward wherever Froggy
All right.
Man is.
Assume the position.
I don't
I'm gonna
miss.
set my arm on your shoulder
Okay.
and point.
Gotta get it. Where did it go? Okay. Prestidigitating.
Okay, so let's assume that you've now sort of lit this up a little bit in some sparkly glitter stuff.
Yay.
Like that. There we go.
Oh, there. Yeah.
There he is.
But it actually gets to take a turn now, too, because it has been attacked. Well, it was already been attacked when you tried to... Well, when you tried to throw the ink.
Yeah.
Oh.
And...
I tripped and fell.
We didn't. Yeah, we didn't attack. We
Circle.
were just, just clumsy. It was an accident. It was a prank.
You
It's a
can
prank,
explain.
bro.
You can explain
the
that
funhouse.
to the slat as it suddenly hops out of the salt circle,
What? You can do
And-
that?
It's
attacks
cheating.
Gelrin. It will make
Sansa, banish it!
I just did a thing. Can I do another thing? I held my turn that other time.
What's your other thing?
Banishment?
You can do that after this. Well, you just used an action. You could do it on your next turn. The prestidigitation is an action.
Okay.
It is going to first try to bite you, Galvin, and then slice at you twice with a greatsword.
It's a frog. It has no teeth. You're good.
Well, you're right. It is just kind of gumming at Galvin. But maybe the greatsword has some more teeth. Not much.
What's this?
Oh.
That one hit.
Okay, Galvin, what do you do?
Hold on, let me distract my-
Banish him?
I don't have banish.
Guiding bolt him?
I think he's too close for guiding bolt.
Step
Is that a
backward.
thing? Is that a thing?
If it's a ranged
Well, it's a
attack,
ranged-
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
If you're in melee, it's disadvantage. I think you can still do it.
okay.
Yeah.
Is he wearing armor or anything?
No.
Yeah, of course he's not. Nothing. I'm never gonna be able to use heat metal for any reason. Okay. All right, Froggo. All right. Inflict wounds. 4th level.
Oh.
That definitely hits. 26
There you go.
necrotic damage.
Oh my god, it's barely injured. Fuck. Shit.
All right. Let's go back downstairs, I think.
So I think we messed up. I think we messed up real
The
bad.
logic isn't working here. I thought the salt would contain him still.
Valdemar, the Peppy Tomb Guardian, is going to make 2 slam attacks against you first.
With Pep.
Hit. Miss.
The first one hits, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so 10. And it also needs to roll a d6 because it has gone berserk. Doesn't make any difference. So you're the only thing it sees. So, all right.
Okay.
You're up.
2 unarmed strikes on it.
Okay.
Twenty to 19.
Okay. Both hit.
36.
15, 36. Near death.
All right, spend a key point and do flurry
Yeah,
of
there it
blows
is.
on it.
Yep, there it is. I was waiting for it.
It's been 112 days, damn it.
14 misses.
Okay, the 19 hits.
Was that from before or is that also another one? That was
Oh,
the
did I
first one.
not-
You have to
Oh,
do
okay,
a second
I
one.
didn't hit
so.
it twice. Okay.
26 hits though. 18, that is enough to kill it.
Okay. Okay. I'm kind of fucked up.
Need your help?
No, I can heal myself, and I got healing potions.
But, like, do you need backup? As much use as I would be, but backup?
Back up?
Yeah. Would you like backup?
Oh,
We're getting tired, I can tell.
Oh, wait. This is a different plaque here, right?
Mm-hmm.
I will go and read that plaque.
Okay, I'll let you read it on your next turn.
Okay. But yeah, I'll move over there to that plaque.
Okay. All right. Silver and scraps.
Can we see what... That's a sarcophagus, is it?
Yes.
Is this a door
Where?
at the very back of the room?
No, that is the pulley, I think. Sorry, no, that is a bronze shield. There's a bronze shield hanging from the wall. And the sarcophagus, or the coffin, is sitting on like a chariot.
Silver, do we want to go in there? Can't hear you.
I mean, like, I kind of want to, but I don't know. I mean, we should probably wait for everybody, but I've kind of fucked things up in there. So
Because we can Misty Step in there.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. We could Misty Step and open up the door.
But we need to get the chain to we need to pull the chain so far.
Yeah,
Right?
and we only have one zombie.
I mean, there is a small, like a couple inch crack now at the bottom of the door. Not enough to squeeze through by any means, but
Are there any levers on the wall that we can see that would like leave the gate open if we were to get in there?
not that you can see. You're pretty sure that if you were to get in there, you could probably secure that chain in some way that it would stay open. You could hook it onto something or prop the door
Yeah.
open even.
That's what I'm wondering. Like, is there a way to do that? Because I don't like.
I mean, you wouldn't know for sure, but
I'm wondering, is this room important now, or do we come back to it later?
We can come back to it later after we have everybody. Just in case, something happens and some people get locked out again.
Yeah, as far as you all are aware, Sans and I are just chilling.
Yeah.
Or we're dead.
Chilling in
Yeah,
Cedar
well-
Rapids.
Yep. Feeling that crimson tide.
What are these statues in the back?
from what you can see, they're not so much statues as they are like glass cauldrons. And you're still outside the room, so you can't really see much more than that.
See, the gang's already splitting up way too far. Val's on ahead, so maybe we should just go with Val and come back to this later.
Yeah. We'll have
Yeah.
to call back my Magman.
Yeah, we'll come back to this.
Okay, it can come
Let's
back
go.
through under the wall, the zombie chasing it. As the zombie does, the chain goes slack and the door slams shut just as the Magman gets back out.
Stop it! There's a thing!
Okay.
I can get halfway down the stairs if I dash, so we're just gonna. I think it's about there.
No.
Why would you go down the stairs? There we go.
Okay.
I don't like it when the gang splits up, okay? I don't like this. We'll be together, holding hands.
Okay, so you guys are both heading down the stairs towards Valdemar.
Yeah. We'll
Okay.
come back to this room later.
Sansa and Gelrin, what's your plan here?
I'm gonna try to banish this guy.
Okay.
Inspiration doesn't do anything, right?
Let you roll with
Or
advantage.
something like oh.
But
Advantage.
We're gonna
not.
succeed on a charisma saving throw.
In that case, it wouldn't do you any good.
Okay.
I want to banish you to the next fucking dimension.
So it needs to make a charisma save. It does not save.
Good
And
job.
It
Yay!
disappears.
Was it from this plane or was it from another plane?
Well, you wouldn't know. It just disappears from this plane, one way
It
or
made
the
a
other.
popping noise.
It did
Then
make
it
a
wasn't
it did make a
from-
popping noise.
It did. Oh, okay. It's not from here. Cool. I'm gonna
Oh.
run over to the box, and I guess wait until my turn because
Okay, what are you doing, Gelrin?
I was gonna go over there with her, but it's not my turn yet.
No, it's fine. You're both doing it at the
it's a
same
group
time.
turn.
Yeah.
Open the box!
So
What's in the box?
make a strength check to try
Coming
to
from
slide the lid
the
off.
last room when you were in, you opened the box and it filled with wine. Like,
Open the box!
let's see what happens
We've
when we
come
open
this
this
far.
box.
All
What
together!
strange liquid will fill this room?
Don't have much choice here.
Oh my god.
Wow. Nat
So,
20 and a nat 20.
As
Cool.
both of you struggle to push the lid off the sarcophagus, what you see, by the way, is that on top of the sarcophagus are 12 painted wooden statuettes depicting grungs, which are cute little animals. But you're not currently strong enough to push aside the lid. And
There is nothing cute in this dungeon at all.
and that's where we'll leave it for this week.
Oh!
Okay.
Aw.
Oh, that was a good one. That was good so far. Oh,
Mostly because I haven't prepared the level below very much, where 3 of you are now headed to. And also it's been 4 hours, so
oh
we're
that was
probably
Oh,
good.
wow.
Oh, man.
I miss D&D.
I do too. So glad we're all back together.
Yes.
Yeah.